Blog Talk Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, Marsha Ambrosia, Lettuce, Kelly Price, and Jill Tucker. My skin is black. My arms are long. My hair is woolly and my back is strong enough to take the pain inflicted again and again. What do they call me? My name is Sarah. Sarah. My skin my hair is long. Between two worlds, I do belong. Yeah. My father was rich and wise. He forced my mother late one night. What do they call me? My name's Saffronia. Saffronia. Yeah. My skin is tanned. My hair is fine. My hips, my vitality, my mouth like wine. Oh, little girl inside. Anyone who has money to burn, what do they call me? My name is Sweet Thing. Sweet Thing. My skin is brown. My manner is tough. I'll kill the first mother I see. Hey, my life has been rough. I'm only bitter these days because my parents were slaves. Ooh, what do they call me? Sarah. What do they call me? Saffronia. What do they call me? Sweet Thing. What do they call me? My name is Peaches.
Drop the beat on this joint
This is the Gumbo Cafe.
with your hosts, Shani and Diyah.
It's alive. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, Diyah? How you doing?
I am doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Welcome, everybody, to the Gumbo Cafe. The number is 347-202-0388. Oh, there's a lot going on. There really is a lot going on. I love that piece right there. I really do. Every time I hear that, I'm like, yes.
So do I. Love it.
What did you do over the weekend?
This weekend we really just relaxed and chilled with great friends and had a good time. We had a seriously little mini barbecue on Saturday, and then Sunday we just relaxed and played games. That was the weekend.
What kind of games?
What was you?
What did we do? What kind of games? I mean, you can't just leave the people like that.
Yeah, I can. James Bond, Super Mario Brothers, mostly Super Mario Brothers, Sonic, and there's one more. I feel like a deer hunting game or something. I can't think of the name of it.
Deer hunting?
Like a deer hunting
really?
game. Well, they have deer, antelopes, and some other animal, I think a moose or something, in it that you hunt. I don't remember most of it. I was tipsy by then. So what did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Man, it's the same thing over and over again. I worked. Even when I tried to relax on Sunday, I was getting phone calls and text messages and inboxes. And, I guess that I can't really complain because that's what you have to do when you're an entrepreneur. So, that's what I did.
I heard that. That's all I'm saying.
That's what you got to do sometimes. And, again, the number is 347-202-0388. We see people calling in. We see people not calling in. It's people in the chat room and then leaving out. How can people get in touch with you if they would like their natal chart done or any other goodies that you do?
They can get in touch with me by going to orisoasis.com. That is www.orisoasis.com for all your astrology needs or readings and also now children's books.
Yes, also children's books. Love it. Welcome to Mayhouse Press and Publications. That's what we do. For me, you guys can find me on Facebook at Shawnee Fenderson, the author. You can find me under Simplistic Truth. You can find me also at authorsinfo.com, where I'm actually the lead publisher. When people have questions, they can contact me there about publishing deals and all of that, but it's authorsinfo.com. So that will be going on. What else is, gosh, there's a lot. I've been working my butt off getting a lineup for us. I mean, it's going to be crazy. Come the end of June and July, we're going to have some heavy hitters on this daggum show. No joke.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's what's up. Yes, that's what's up. And one of them being is Adonis. If you guys saw me posting or talking about his work, he is a painter, does beautiful work out of Miami, Florida. So we'll be having Adonis Parker come on. We'll also have the young man who singing the proposal to his fiancée. She walked in the door, didn't know what the heck was going on, and he was singing to her. He will be on next week, so be prepared to listen to that. He'll be on for the first half of the show. And then, oh, my gosh, I'm not even going to tell you the name. All I'm going to say is he's on Last Comic Standing. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's all I'm going to tell you. So we're going to have a comedian on in a couple of weeks as well. So, and yes, he's on the current season of Last Comic Standing. And it's amazing. People complain about social media. They're always talking about how horrible it is. But actually, social media is a good thing. I mean, if you're working and you're on your grind, you could come across some serious people. You know what I'm saying?
Surely can.
Yeah. So utilize your resources and just ask questions. I mean, average, everyday people like us. And if you ask the right questions and if you're kind enough, they'll, it's promotion for them. People love promotion, especially if they're in any type of industry or any type of business. We also have a group of people who sell hair products. We talk about people wearing weaves and we need to support our own. Well, this company is actually going to come onto the show as well and give us a little bit of insight, how Diyah and I feel about Remy hair and human hair, so forth and so on. But yet, still, for those who are interested and do buy hair, it's buy from your own, then all this other stuff. So they will be coming on as well. I'm trying to get them as a sponsor for us, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the number is 347-202-0388. We see Gigi up in the chat room. What's up, boo? Yeah, we're feeling some type of way. Actually, I'm feeling some type of way tonight. So how you doing, Gigi, in the chat room? We see you, girl. Thank you for the support. We had a blast on her network. On her show 2 weeks ago. That was just like the best. Yeah.
Back to the street.
With her, WB. Sex, Let's Make It Better every Thursday here on Women's Radio. Is it Women Plural or is it Women? Is it Women's Radio?
Women.
Here on
Women's Radio.
Women's Radio, right. And you just posted something on your page. What did you just post?
The picture of her Rihanna's gown. I love that gown.
You see her who's it's in her, what's not in her. Well, you don't see her cuckoo, but why do you love the gown? Because it's exposing everything about her?
Pretty much, take me as I am. Boom. Deal with it. I love it.
Really?
Her nudity is not her insecurity. It's everybody else's. Take me as I am. Boom. Deal with it.
Do you ever think that maybe it's too much? No, seriously. I mean, because I got an inbox, and the inbox really did disturb me. It was from a relative, and they were discussing how, how men in the industry see women these days. Of course, they don't like dark women, and they prefer the light-skinned women, and they say that they're the most beautiful thing in the world. If not, they wouldn't be in video vixens. Do you think there's a bit of overexposure with women? We don't leave a bit of imagination for men to be curious about who we are?
Ooh, how do I make that a short answer?
Go ahead, say what you got to say. I'm feeling good right
now. A bit overexposure? I'm going to say no. I think there's not enough exposure, and that's why men act the way they do. Every other country, they respect the female form. They love the female form. They embrace the female form. They let the female embrace her own form. But over here, we're supposed to be covered up because of the way some man may act because somehow biologically he cannot control himself. Screw that. I say give them the shot factor, let them get used to it, and then let women be who they truly are. Let them embrace their sexuality. I don't understand why it's okay for us to be naked in certain places, but in other places, all of a sudden, you're uncomfortable with it. It's like the breast is meant to feed babies. They're beautiful. They're meant to nurse our children. Well, all of a sudden, if it's not, I'm not even going to say a child hanging off of it because most people get offended by that. Why if it's not a grown man hanging off of it, all of a sudden it's offensive. But if it's a grown man hanging off of it, everybody loves it. I don't get that. And I say, hey, I'll go hang out.
Adonis, the artist that I was talking about, he paints a lot of pictures, and when I talked to him on the phone, I was like, dude, you paint a whole bunch of boobs. You got like this boob thing going on. But there are pictures of women in Africa. And remember back in the 70s and the 80s, it was okay and accepted to see them when you opened up a National Geographic. But it's something like a faux pas. You can't see an American woman do it. Like, that's a shame for her to do it. Is it because maybe of the religious ideologies that come with it here in the States? where over there it's acceptable, in Africa, certain parts of Africa, unless if if they have a Muslim background or whatever. But the tribal woman, it's okay. But here we have this issue with covering up.
It has a lot to do with religion and religious views. For people who are not religious, they still don't see how they got religious views as far as it concerns the womanly body. A man can walk around topless. His breast has no point. A woman's breast actually has a point to it. It's to feed babies, but she has to walk around not just with one layer, but two layers, because she's supposed to wear a bra on top of that. So now she got to go through all this if she has a child. If she doesn't have a child, why shouldn't she sport her young, beautiful breasts? If she does have a child, why does she have to cover and go through all that just to feed her baby and feel like it's a shame and gotta hide it? If she's going into her later phases in life, why shouldn't she have to hide that? She done went through life. She is now able to give wisdom. Wisdom is to be respected. If anything, of all things, her feminine form, which brought her wisdom that she has, is to be respected. And I know many people are going to disagree with that, but anybody who knows me knows I'm for a nudity, male or female. I say let's all walk around butt naked and call it a day. Seriously.
She will walk around in the woods bucket naked. I mean, have you ever walked in the woods? Anyway, so
don't get me telling on myself.
And Gigi even said if you have it, flaunt it. That was what she said in the chat room. And we also see Bebe straight flexing up there in the chat room. Our two supporters that are consistent with it. We love you guys. Hey Bebe. But I think really it's an issue just here in the United States, because if you go to Europe, they show on their news, they have women over there topless. And this is like, our regular 5 o'clock news. Can you imagine some of our newscasters, though, being topless? Some of them old ladies would not be cute.
I bet you both people would pay attention to them. They wouldn't even care what the news is. They wouldn't even care.
We're a young society. We're, everything about us is young. We think we've been here for centuries, but no, we've only been here for a couple of 100 years, and we're so far behind. Think we're ahead of the game, but we're not. We're behind on everything, even from religion to sexuality to everything you can imagine. It's only an issue here, and it just disturbs me that we get on our high horses and we back it up with our whatever faith it is we believe. I'm just going to say Christianity. And we forget the very book that we study from. I mean, how is it that we're different? I don't get it. In a way, I'm kind of like you. I'm from Cali. Everybody is laid back, cool. I lived in Austin. It's the same thing. You could walk around topless if you wanted to. But it's just certain places that I don't know if it's conservative that's the issue. I don't know if it's religion that's the issue, but we need to break out of some of the things that we put emphasis on. And it's causing a big issue in relationships, in people's lifestyles. And one thing that, I was on Platinum Queens West on Sunday, and, I've been paying attention to what these guys are saying, with, the men's rights. We were kind of talking about it last week with men's rights and all these things that they're saying because they feel like they're losing their identity or purpose or whatever, and they talk about men and homosexual men and how that's an issue for them. They talk about women and how, degrading women are. And I said on the show, I was like, in the 70s, and I even put it on my post after seeing that inbox that my cousin said and what these celebrities are saying and how young men are listening to them. But I said in the 70s, homosexuals lived in the black community because cost of living was cheaper. Homosexuals stood side by side with us to fight for our cause. They were right there with us. single mothers, baby mamas, whatever, they were right there in those groups fighting alongside the men. Everybody worked together, but for some reason, this generation, Generation X, now all of a sudden, all of those people are an issue. And what I said on the show is the reason why they're an issue is because these people who are complaining, they're too focused on everybody else and not focused on themselves. They'd rather hide behind other people's issues. And that's caused a big, huge disconnect within our culture itself and within American society. And I was reading another post, and I think it was with Alan Roger Curry. He had said something. He was like, I'm tired of seeing, brothers degrading women. And I'm like, I'm the same way in a sense, because no other culture disses their women, not like we do. And the more we diss our own, the more people feel that it's okay to do that. And they begin acting the same way as our black men. From, white men, they treat it basically, it's how can I put it? Essentially, the black man is now the slave owner. And the whip is now his penis. And he's beating us up every single night to get what the heck he wants, which is a nut, dumps us off, leaves the kid, and sells us off on the selling block by using the words that are demeaning and hurting and killing us. The black man today in society is the new slave owner. Y'all might not agree with me, but if you pay attention to it and look at history for what it is, they're repeating the history. And the reason why I chose that song at the beginning with Jill Scott, Kelly Price, Marsha Ambrosius, and Lettucey is because that is still happening today. From the woman who's being abused over and over again, she's taking it in and she's trying to fight back. She's Aunt Sarah. That's the woman that's constantly hearing these words of saying that you are worthless. You don't do nothing. You're too busy talking about your titles. You're this. You wear that kind of hair. That's Aunt Sarah, but that's these women today. Then you have the girl who's mixed, who cannot identify with anybody. True, she might not have been raped, but yet and still, this mixed sister cannot identify with anyone because society still pushes her down. Then you have the one who is, what do you call, everybody calls her the hoochie mama, the whatever it is, the ghetto fabulous girl. No, excuse me. The hoochie mama or the whore. She's another one that we see today, but yet her identity is still being thrusted into something that is not acceptable by men. Then you have Peaches, the one who's just saying, screw it, forget it. I just, you step up in my face. I'm the hood rat. I'm tired. Basically, I'm tired. But you guys, nobody cares. No one cares because they don't want to identify with this person. Why? Because if a slave owner identifies with that person, that means they have feelings. The slave owner wants to have a feeling. That's just a piece of cash to get you to the next level. I'm going to sell you off so I can move forward. Do I sound feminist at the moment? I don't care. But I'm getting tired. I'm honestly getting tired because I'm seeing all the bashing, the finger pointing, and nobody is coming up with the solution. The reason why they're not coming up with the solution is because they don't want to deal with their own internal issues. What's your thoughts, Diyah?
I think that's what happened. Give me 1 sec.
Here she goes. Give her 1 second. The number again, 347-202-0388. That is the number, 347-202-0388. And we're seeing this thing now with women who are being suicidal. We want to be strong for you men. We do. But when you constantly deny us any type of opportunity, we don't know where to go. So we end up remaining in that cycle, or we try to build off of self. And then when we try to build off of self, we're also being chastised that way. I mean, what is the solution? I ask every chance that I get, give me a solution so that I can take it back to the women who are listening here on the Gumbo Cafe. I can take it back to the women who are inboxing me, who've seen my blogs on other websites. I'll help you if you give me a solution. But when you're constantly raising up that whip, I don't know where to go. We don't know where to go. Where do we turn? Diyah, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back. I think my main issue is that given the history that we have, given what we see today, we are still looking towards the other half to lead us. And I said it before and I'll say it again. If a female cannot lead a man or raise a man or show a man how to be a man, why are we as females looking to men to lead us, to show us how to be women and what to do? And that's the main question I ask myself every day, because it seems like, well, it doesn't seem like, it has been where we have been looking to men for a long time to tell us how to be, not even women, tell us how to be ladies, because lady is something different than a woman when you look through history. But the lady is not a woman. The lady actually confines and restricts the woman's abilities. So, and then my main question is, why are we, if we've seen the results, if we keep seeing the results, if we see the problem, why do we keep looking towards the problem for the solution? That's the part that bothers me. And I look at women past and how they got together and they did this, and then the elders of the women went and with the elders of the men, and then when the elders of the men were no longer there, the elders of the women still got together. And somehow it broke down to where the elders of the women or the new women coming up didn't listen or didn't got put in, or for whatever reason they stopped. Well, I know why they stopped. They stopped because of practice and that they stopped because of religious practices. And when I say religious practices, I just mean things that were practiced religiously, regularly, on and on. I don't actually mean religion in this particular instance. They stopped because those practices didn't work no more, and the elders stopped allowing culture and spirit to take over to do what needs to be done for, the new age of each generation. But either way, to me, that still goes back to the woman. Why are we looking to, if no one's going to, if everybody knows no one's going to value you until you value yourself. No one will care until you care yourself. You have to work on yourself before you work with somebody else. Why do we keep looking outside of ourselves, outside of our own gender, for something that they cannot and never will be able to teach us? That's the question that I have. I don't get the looking to the men part. Of course they can help us and guide us in certain areas, but as far as being a woman and dealing with the things that come with a woman, only another woman can teach you that. Just like being a man and dealing with things that come with being a man, only another man can teach you that. So why do we keep looking at the opposite, expecting them to do the work that we need to do ourselves? And even though some of us may not have elders, figure out the work for ourselves and then teach the next generation of our same gender and do it that way. I don't get why that doesn't happen.
So you're saying that the Steve Harveys of the world can't teach a woman how to be a woman?
Exactly.
I finally saw that movie, and I was so disappointed. I told you about that, but,
Exactly. The Steve Harveys of the world are teach you act like a lady, think like a man. You're not a lady. A lady is a created object, a fantasy of a man, a fantasy that doesn't even work practically in a real world. You're a woman. Okay, to make this clear, to give a little history of the lady. The lady first was not a character, it was a title. And in that title, being a lady, you came with a certain breeding. and how you got to be a lady of this, a lady of that, basically was to cover up a lot of stuff that high royalty was supposed to be doing, and these children came out to be ladies, this, and that. Okay. So with the ladies doing all this, the title lady came, my lady Mary, my lady Elizabeth, my lady this. This title came with certain things. She had to look a certain way. She had to act a certain way. She had to speak a certain way. She had to dress a certain way. She had to have the most fashionable clothes, the most fashionable hairstyle. She was seen and not heard. She was basically the arm piece or the prize of the husband for breeding.
Wait, hold on. You said she had to look a certain way. She had to dress in the most fashionable clothes. That's what you just said, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Go ahead.
She had to dress the most fashionable, had to have the most fashionable hairstyles, most fashionable makeup, because she had to keep up with the image and the look of her man, of the area, of the culture. She had to stay up with that because she was part of his prize, his goal, his basically his breeding mule, if you want to look at it in that sense, because that's one of the other reasons why they married the ladies off to certain men, because most of them did not pick, majority of them did not pick their own husband. Excuse me. With that, they had to, in public, they had to act a certain way. They wasn't allowed to go to certain places. They had to be, presentable. They had to keep up an image, a fantasy, an illusion. Now, the things that people don't know about the lady is that the lady did not cook. She had cooks. She did not clean. She had ladies in waiting who did this. She did not buy her own clothes. She had somebody make them. So she didn't know how to sew. She didn't know how to cook. She didn't even rear her own children because most of the men did not want their women's breasts to change or their breasts to sag. So she had her child off for somebody else to breastfeed her own baby. They had milkmaids. So this lady,
or wet nurses, milkmaids or wet nurses.
Milkmaids or wet nurses. Thank you. I couldn't think of the other name. So this lady had no skills as a woman, and yet somehow over time, and mind you, the lady, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, the husband cheated on her because no one wants. The lady is cool in fantasy and it's cool for arm piece, but in reality, no one really wants a lady. Nobody really wants somebody on their arm spending all the money that they're trying to earn. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. And she couldn't, like I said, the lady couldn't cook. She couldn't clean. She didn't even know how to raise her own kids. She didn't even know how to do her own hair. Somebody else did that. The only thing she knew how to do was how to cut and scheme to get things out of her husband because she had to act a certain way so no one could see her going against her husband. So she had to find ways to get things out of her husband. And a lot of times she would set the husband up with a whore, which is a whole other secret that most of y'all don't know. A lot of ladies set the husband up with a whore because the whore had the husband's ear. Okay, so you have all that. So getting back to the woman. Now, the woman knows how to cook. She knows how to clean. She knows how to rear her own kids. She may not have the most up-to-date hairstyle. She might find something stupid, but she keeps her hair kept. She keeps herself neat. She does the things that women do that most men need and want. They think they like the fantasy, but when reality meets fantasy, they'll take the reality of a woman any day. And this is the problem that we have today is that most men keep saying they want the lady, but in actuality they need the woman. And when they meet the woman face to face, they don't know how to handle it because they've been taught to go towards the fantasy and how to react to the fantasy. And in actuality, the fantasy is supposed to react to you, not you react to it. But in reality, you react to the woman, not the other way around. So we have this whole illusion of the lady or whatever being the ideal woman, when in actuality she's not a woman at all. She doesn't do anything a woman can do. Nothing skills that came along with gardening, knowing what herbs to pick, what do that, nothing. That's not even her job. And somehow the lady became the prize, and they try to make every woman a lady, and that's where society messed up, when a man wanted to make every woman act like a lady. And then realized the lady was nothing that he needed, but now he's caught in this illusion he made for himself, which is how you got to divide between the lady and the whore, because now you had to be one or the other. And most women, given a choice without repercussion, will choose the whore. I'm going to say it. Given a choice without repercussion, most women will choose the whore. But, Shana, you back?
Yeah, most women or most men will choose the whore.
Most men too. Most women will choose being a whore over being a lady because it's free. You do what you want, when you want, how you want, wear what you want, and you still taking care of yourself and your family. most men will choose the whore because even though they're paying her for her time, he knows it's a business deal, and the whore will always help him with his business deal. And because the whore has ears to other guys, she knows the insight to everything else. Most of them will choose the whore. They'll marry the lady, but they'll spend most of their time in business deals and seeing the whore.
Okay, now I'm glad that you brought that up because if you look at, again, people want to talk about, history. When you look at the Old South and plantations, what was the person called, the wife called, of the husband who owned the plantation? Lady Antebellum or Lady so-and-so.
Oh, yeah. They was called the lady of the house, the lady of this, the lady of that. Yeah, they was.
Yes. And, again, people, y'all got to pay attention to history. And Lady so-and-so took care of the home in a sense, yet she had all these servants, like Diyah was saying, slaves, whatever you want to call them, that did the cooking, did the sewing, slept at the foot of the slaves slept at the foot of the bed to keep their feet warm at night. This is something that my great-grandmother used to do. And all of that stuff. But that black woman was not considered a lady. Slave master or owner, he did whatever he wanted to property, but he still had that lady or that piece or that, what is it we call it nowadays, that arm candy, to make them look and feel good or appear to look and feel good in public. But yet and still, we know a lot of these men out here are out, they sleeping around. They're sleeping around, not with their wife, but the wife appears to be this number one image that everybody must strive to be. Again, black men, who is the slave owner or the slave master today? When you think about plantation, y'all have actually took on the role without even knowing you took on the role of being slave master, slave owner, with all the money, waiting for a female to come up to you and do everything so she could get that position of being arm candy. And when I read half of the stuff, I was just like her. Okay, it was Kevin Hart that said one thing. He said, hands down, light-skinned women usually have better credit than a dark-skinned woman. Broke-ass dark hoes, LOL. Dark-skinned women take a punch at the face better than light-skinned women. You soft-ass yellow bitches, LOL. Lil Wayne said, beautiful black women, I bet that bitch look better red. My daughter is the first and last dark-skinned child I'm having. The rest of my baby moms are light-skinned chicks. I even got an Asian baby mom to make sure I have a daughter with good hair. Too bad we had a son. Young Bird said, I'm kind of racist. I don't like dark butts. You know how some women prefer light-skinned men or dark-skinned men? It's rare that I do dark butts, but that's what I call dark-skinned women. I don't date women darker than me. I love the pool test. If you could jump in the pool exactly like you are and you don't come out looking better than you looked before going in the pool, then that's not a good look. Any woman that uses brown gel to set down her hair, baby hair, is not popping. Pillow the Don said, black women need to get their shit together, period, point blank. And if you're in denial of that, you're part of the problem. Kanye West said, rolling with some light-skinned chicks and some Kelly Rowlands. You know, Kelly Rowland is the dark one. If it wasn't for race mixing, there'd be no video girls. Me and most of our friends like mutts a lot. Yeah, in the hood they call them mutts. I mean, I'm just, when I saw that, and again, compiling it on top of all this other stuff that I'm hearing, because, you know, we got to be something different to be acceptable by society standards. And I get what Diyah is saying. We don't have to look to men to define us. But at some point, those who are weak, those women who don't have that female to console them or confide in them, that's all they're hearing is the men. That's all they're watching are the men. And I'm at this point where I just don't know what to do until I got another inbox from a young lady who said, you know what, you helped me in times when you didn't even know this, but I was ready to pull the trigger. Gun was right there. I was ready to pull the trigger several times until I read your words. And when she said that to me, I was like, wow. It tears me up that even our women are not doing what we need to do in order to help other women. Again, if it sounds feminist, okay, cuckoo on you, whatever. But at the moment, we're missing something. We're missing the mark that is so we can't even see an X that marks the spot. And we're Generation X. We are the X. We're the ones that are supposed to give the solutions, but so many people are so caught up in their daggone self that they're missing the mark in helping other people. I'm telling you, I did not know what to say when she said I stopped her just from the words. All I could say to her was, wow, wow. And I was crying like a fool because I didn't know she was going through that. What I'm saying to ladies, like Diyah was saying, we have to be able to speak to our own to help them grow and to build and to be and do more instead of being so selfish and worrying about the clothes that we get and the hair that we look. Diyah was saying how the lady is concerned about only herself and she doesn't really even buy it. Okay, let's bring this to today's standard. We don't really buy the stuff we got. We put it on credit. Credit is the new slave. Your so-called friends in your circles that are there to boost you up are the new slaves. Because we want to look good. And the slave master, again, I wouldn't even put it on, some people say it's the white man. I wouldn't even do that. At this point, no. We have to do better. And too many people are dying. I mean, we just saw Maya Angelou, and, at the end of the show, there'll be a piece that she did that I'll be playing, but I was looking at her history. She was more than a poet. This woman spoke 6 languages. She helped people in Africa and in the United States. She survived her own struggles. Within that book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, because she was raped by her mother's boyfriend. She had to release the story. And from releasing that story, she helped so many women. How many of you guys who listen to the archives or listen live are helping women? Or are you just running and hiding? Something else I said on Platinum Queens West, and they were shocked to even hear it, but, why Diyah and I had stated it before on the show, why we don't like doctors. It's because doctors fondled us. The more we talk about things like that, the more we're able to help heal other people. And it's not that we're living in the past. It's we're saying, sister, look, I look like you. I've done what you've done. I've gone through what you've gone through, but there's a better way. The reason why there's a better way and how you know it's a better way is because you're waking up to a new day. You're not stuck in the past. You don't have to be stuck back there. You can use it as a tool to help other women come out of the past, be that life raft or that hand that reaches down into the water when your sister is sinking, and not expect any glory afterwards after you help somebody. Let me put it like this. For those who are Christians, it's called spread the gospel. The gospel is you. If the book is a living testament, then that testament is a testament of your life, and that means your life is the gospel. Share the gospel of you. Why is this so hard? Just because we grew up as latchkey kids, when mom had to work late at night or daddy wasn't around or both parents were in the house but they weren't present, just why are we blaming the world for that? Why are we blaming our culture for that? Why are we blaming the world for our fathers dying? Why are we blaming the world for the abortion that we walked into the clinic for? Why are we doing any of this? It's called personal accountability, transparency. Transparency, again, is spreading the gospel, i.e., spreading the story of your life. Ladies, we got to do better. And, second half, we are going to talk about some of the things or the little secrets. I know this little part of it was a little bit heavy, and it's a lot, but I'm tired. Y'all, I'm tired of the stuff that we're doing and we're hiding from. And we could complain about coworkers. We could complain about people who are on our friends list on Facebook. We can complain about all that. But are you looking in the mirror and ask, what's your complaints about you? What are they? Write them down if you need to. Put a list of, on one side, your pros, on the other side, your cons. Start working on those. Building a community. Because like I said earlier, and I said on Platinum Queens West, the purpose of the 70s was to build a better community. They knew it started from within. They knew it started from within the circle. It had nothing to do with, hey, brother, you just got out of the pen. You are worthless. No. It didn't go with, girl, you a baby mama, and, you just sleep around. No. Let's all work together, build and grow, because the power of energy within itself and positivity within itself builds something so strong not even man can tear it apart. There was that saying in Soul Food, and it was the mother. She said, when you have a family and you bring it together, it makes a strong fist. Family is our brothers who are gay, our brothers who are straight, our brothers who grew up in single-family homes, our brothers who grew up when dad wasn't available or mom wasn't available, our sisters who grew up without the daddy, our sisters who grew up without the mother, our sisters who were raped. But we came together, 60s and 70s. We came together. Why can we not do that now? What's the problem? What the hell is the problem? What are you running from? You've taken that fist and used all these fingers to point at everybody else. But when you pull those three back, it's you, not them. It's you. And matter of fact, when you look at, okay, I want everybody to take their hand. Do like you're pointing. There's three fingers that are pointing towards you. There's one that's pointing outward, and your thumb is pointing upward. Let me tell you how powerful the Most High, the Supreme, is. In order to reach the one, you have to take care of you by seeking him. Let me tell you again. In order to reach the one, that finger pointing at somebody else, you have to take care of yourself 3 times by reaching him, your thumb, people. That's what that pointing finger means. It doesn't mean you're the problem. It means, or they're the problem. It means I have to fix me to help reach you to get to a higher level. That's what thumbs up means. Thumbs up means when hitchhikers use it, I got to get to the place, my destination. Everything happens for a reason in this world. And if you guys don't freaking wake up, we're going downhill fast. because somebody else is really not the problem. It's you that's the problem. And I know I'm preaching right now, but you know what? Let me tell you, my cousin died the other night, 30-something years old, young man. Sunday night, he and I worked on a project together out in L.A. He was left in his apartment. We don't know how long he's been in there. Life is going by fast. Doesn't matter the age. Doesn't matter the time. A pivotal person within the black community has died. Are we going to blame it on reality TV and all this other crap and sit up here and watch all this other stuff? People, wake the fuck up. Start taking a personal accountability. Point that finger again. Put your hand out there like your palm, like you normally do. Point at one. Where are those three fingers pointing? It takes 3 times the amount of you to build, heal you, love you, control who you are, to help that one person you're pointing at by reaching a higher level of understanding and consciousness, of building, being connected in one. One body, one mind. Then when you put the fist together, it now has that 3 of you, strong, mighty. That one person you have helped as a consciousness or the supreme being, grasping together and building, being one, a fist. Anyway, y'all might not like me tonight, but you know what? I don't care. Diyah, what you got to say?
Honestly, all I got to say is what I say all the time. Focus on self. You know, that's the whole point of me giving the readings that I do on my website. Focus on self. Learn your astrology. That tells you all about yourself and the energies you came to this world with. Once you understand yourself, then you will have a whole different perspective of the world around you and how to interact with the world, not only make it the best for you, but how you can make it the best for others around you. You'll also know who to help and when to help, because a lot of people, it's not that they don't help, it's that they're helping the wrong people. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, you have to learn who to help. You have to learn how to give a helping hand to those hands who are reaching out for actual help. Not those hands reaching out for a handout. Those hands reaching out for help. Not those saying, do it for me. Those saying, show me how to do it so I don't have to come back to you again. Those are the ones you want to help. Those are the ones who are seeking self and are looking for wisdom and ways on how to do it. And everybody's an expert on something. Everybody's an expert on something, be it hair, nails, clothes, how to keep your skin up, how to start a business, how to effectively be an employee, how to move up in management at your job, how to raise animals, how to take care of animals, be a veterinarian, or how to just, if you don't want to be a veterinarian, how to open your own shelter for animals. Everybody, daycare, whatever. Everybody has skills in something. Once you master your skills, then you show other people how to master theirs. But the problem is we're so focused on helping other people who are in the same position as us that we don't realize that we're part of the problem. If I only have $2 and I give you $2, now we both broke next week. That doesn't make sense. Get yourself together. Learn it's okay to say no sometimes to certain situations. I'm not going to say all situations. Certain situations, it's okay to say no if that's your last and you don't know where your next one's coming from. Get yourself together. Learn a skill. Learn a way. You know, one thing that I always learned growing up, and this is the one thing I will give credit to men, is always have a hustle. Don't rely on a job. Always have a hustle outside of a legal hustle. Legal. Make sure, you heard me say legal. Always have a legal hustle outside of your job. And with this, and with learning this, you know, just lost my train of thought for a second. With learning a legal
I know you
hustle,
just saw that. I know you just saw that, my bad.
Just threw me the hell off. and you know, this is, I'm going to say this because I am a big helper when it comes to people, but I like to help those who help themselves. The main problem I ran into is that when it comes to helping people, people want a handout. They don't want to be shown how to do for themselves. They want you to do it for them so they don't have to. That's the main problem. I've talked to endless people, and the first thing that always comes out of my mouth when they're saying they're buying, what are you good at? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? What is it that you love to do? Well, I love to do this, this, or this, or this. Okay, what is it that you have done before? What is it that you can get easy access to learn how to do at the lowest cost to you? Those are my questions that I ask people, and they are always able to answer them. But when I say do that, then it becomes an issue. The one thing I tell everybody who calls me, and they start saying, well, they're in a bind, they need this, and that, I ask them, have you had a yard sale yet? Have you had a yard sale? Majority of them say no. If you did not have a yard sale and get rid of the stuff that you're not using first, why are you even calling me? Why? Get rid of the access. Get rid of the access stuff that you didn't even use yet. You know, I had somebody calling me saying they're 2 months late on their they called me on my business line at that, so you could tell I don't know them. They didn't have my personal number. They're 2 months late on their rent. They're renting. It's not even a mortgage. 2 months late on their rent. They're 1 month late on their car, and they didn't know what to do, and they wanted to know if I could do a spell to help, because that's yeah. So first, like I tell everybody, 1, I don't do that for everybody. 2, I'm darn sure I do that so I get a reading. And 3, before we go to spells, let's do practical, common sense stuff, everyday stuff that can get you where you need to be, and then let's work on your mindset. And then once you work on your mindset, then let's do a spell to keep the energy going. That's how I work. This ain't no poof, pow, boom, magical fairy dust, and then all of a sudden everything's okay. That's not how I roll, no. So with this particular person, she called me, and I talked to her, and I was like, well, you know, how big is your TV? Oh, I got a big one. I got a 65-inch screen TV. So I guarantee you get $1,000. $1,000 right there. Bam. I can't sell my TV. Why? You can't watch it in the car? Come on. Like, let's just use common sense stuff. How many computers? Oh, I got an iPad. She had an iPad, a laptop, and 2 computers. How many people in your home? Just 2. Only 2 people in your home? Sell some of those. She had old phones that she wasn't using because she gets some new phones every time a new one come out. Sell them online. Problem solved. Then she knew how to cook, and she's always throwing parties. Sell your food at your parties. Charge them at the door.
Hello.
Charge
caterer.
Okay. Cater party. Start having a party at your home. You got a big screen TV. You got a cable. First thing to do is have a sports party. Everybody likes to watch football or boxing, and you know boxing you got to pay for it. So you can charge them at the gate like, hey.
Again, in the 70s, what did they used to have? Rent parties. Anyway, go ahead.
Yes. Rent parties, dollar parties. Where do you think Fresh Fries started from? They ain't starting the church. That started in the neighborhood. Somebody cooked the food to make sure they had rent. And then the next person, you know, since they gave to that person, and I get that person, somebody else had a dollar party. And, you know, somebody else babysitted. So the money circulated in the neighborhood to everybody stay afloat. This is what we did, people. So, you know, with that, the first thing I say was get rid of your access. Get rid of stuff that you no longer hold on to. Look at your closet. If you haven't worn that in a month, especially if you're into fashion, and I'm not knocking people into fashion, but if you're into fashion, you know by the next month you are no longer wearing those old clothes. Sell them. You more likely you only wore it twice in that month if you wear that, especially if you're into high-end fashion. Sell them.
And don't even try to sell them at the ticket price. So if you haven't even worn it, I hate going to yard sales where people are trying to sell a dress for $30 or $100 or $200. Boo, no. Market value, it has gone down when you took it out the store, just like a car when you drive it off the lot.
Just so you know, as soon as you buy something, the market value is now 50% less whether you use it or not. That's market value. 50% less whether you use it or not. So once that, you know, I always ask people, just go into what you know first. Start there. Start with yourself. You know, I don't know how to do makeup. There's plenty of YouTube videos for free. Experiment on yourself. I'm not going to suggest you do hair. You know, don't learn that. Actually go to school for that. But, you know, braiding, depending on where you live at, you should be able to get a braider's license for cheap. Yeah, depending on what state you're in, you should be able to get a braider's license for cheap. Start there. You know, it's certain things that we can do that we don't see in front of our faces because we want somebody else to do it for them. And my main thing is, if you truly want to help yourself, if you truly want to be that person that says, yeah, let's go ahead and let's do this and let's get together community, you can't be a community if you can't commute, meaning you can't commune, meaning you have nothing to give. You cannot do that. You have to have something to be able to give on a regular basis. Not once in a while it's okay you do what you can, but at some point that once in a while needs to become steady. At some point that once in a while needs to become regular, and then it needs to add on. That means responsibility. That means consistency. That means it's not going to be easy. Just like you consistently go to work every day to get a check, you can consistently work on yourself every day, so one day you may not need that check.
Hold on. This is just on me. It just came through me, girl. This is a trip. Okay, for y'all ladies who work, and you're talking about how broke you are, but you're dropping $300 checks in the tithing. I'm a piss off a lot of people right now, but 10% also means the knowledge that you have. So if you have knowledge of being a babysitter, or if you have knowledge of running a business or something like that, and the church is talking about they have a building fund that needs to be replenished, but you know how to do proposals, your 10% tithing is helping them put together a proposal. It doesn't mean $375 or whatever in the tithing pot, and you're still sitting there wondering why your lights aren't on, or the electricity or the gas is off, or you don't have gas to get to work, or any of that. If they're talking about a building fund, and, you know, some of these places talk about building funds for like 30 years, ask them, and be calm about it, because, you know, I had to deal with this myself. Ask them, okay, is the church a non-profit organization? If they are a non-profit organization, let me assist you, since I do this on my job daily. Let me assist you in putting together a proposal so that we can take to the bank and use the nonprofit number in order to make a better building so that we could, you know, have that door or the roofing done or the air conditioning or any of that. That is tithing. 10% of who you are. Again, I might piss a couple of folk off, but that's what it means. Anyway, go ahead.
It bothers me when, you know, because there's people wanting to help. Like, it bothers me when people say there's no one to help. There are people wanting to help, but those that are consistently doing, those that understand how to get it done, are not going to do it for you, but they'll show you how to do it yourself. Are not going to sit there and create the company for you, but they'll help you brainstorm and help you do it yourself. Because when no one else is there, it's going to be you. There are going to be late nights, regardless of what you're doing. Oh, excuse me, had about you. Regardless of what you're doing, there are going to be times when you want to quit. There are going to be times where there's nobody there to encourage you, and you have to encourage yourself. Still do it yourself. There are times when I want to go to bed, but I got to get that reading done because I have a deadline to meet. So no sleep tonight. Knowing I got to get up, not even got to get up, I got to do everything I need to do as far as my house, still do everything I need to do as far as my business next day, and still do everything I need to do as far as my children the next day. Thank goodness it's summertime. But still.
What's that one song you said, encourage yourself? Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
This is the way gospel.
And no matter what you feel. Okay, girl, go ahead. I'm sorry. Speak the word and you will be healed. Speak over yourself. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Whoa. Okay, go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. Go ahead. But when you said that, that's what came to mind. Go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, you got to... First of all, okay, let's get to that song. Encourage yourself in the Lord. Who was the Lord? The Lord is a title. The title of the Lord just means the person who's ruling. Who is ruling yourself? No one else should be ruling yourself but you, period. No, I'm saying it again. No one else should be ruling yourself but you. So if you're ruling yourself, that means the decisions you make for yourself, meaning you don't decide to elect yourself, but you do decide how much effort you're going to put in to make sure the money is there so it gets paid. You do decide how you spend the money so that you know that you have a certain amount set aside for that to get paid. You do decide that. You know yourself. Again, going back to, because I deal with astrology, going back to astrology. You look at your astrology chart, or get someone like me to look at it, and look at how the astrology chart tells you how your energy say to deal with finances. So you know you're great with getting money, but you're not great with keeping it. Okay, well then you know you need to work on keeping it, or work with a bank or something to hold it and put it in some type of fund where it's hard to get to. That way you have no choice. Or you're hard at getting it, but you're good at keeping it. So therefore you look at what the energy that you have and why it's not flowing, because money isn't meant to flow. And look at why are you hoarding a little bit you got, and how much you really need to give and how much you need to keep, and then work on, it's just a lazy tendency, work on a lazy tendency that you have that's keeping you from getting it, or work on your attitude, or work on, no, it still goes back to mostly lazy tendencies, honestly. Then you work on that, and this is how you start mastering yourself. And once you master yourself, then you can show somebody else how to master themselves. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it. Work on yourself first. Stop worrying about everybody else's problems. Worry about yours first. It's okay not to worry about everybody else's problems. And to be honest, if you want to be honest, most of us are only in everybody else's business because it makes us feel better about our own. We're not calling Tina and asking them how they doing, knowing darn well they about to be homeless because we really want to help. We just want more business so that when we hang up the phone, we could go, ooh, child, glad that's not me. If you want to be truly honest with yourself, how many of us truly call to care? How many truly call just to say, oh, glad it's not me. I feel a little better about my situation. Now I can sit on my behind and not do nothing else for the next week. But then you're not helping yourself. You're not helping the other person that you called either. And if you want to talk about energy, now both of y'all just confirmed the energy of both of y'all being broke, because you were sitting there saying, well, agreeing to every statement that she said, which makes that statement your own. And now y'all both put more broke energy back into your life. Again, this is one of the reasons why when people call me, I cut that crap off from the beginning. I don't want to hear that. Let's hear what you can do. Let's hear where we can go. I don't want to hear that. Okay, you cried, you boo-hoo, your 5 minutes of fame, of shame fame, or whatever you want to call it, is over. Let's get to work and see what we can do. What can we sell? What can we do? What can you do to get it done?
Wow.
It just amazes me how many people, talk the game, but not willing to walk the walk. And I always say the same thing. Easier said than done. And I'm going to say the same thing I always say. Shut the fuck up and start doing. If it's easier said than done, you talk too much. Because for me, it's easier done than said because I ain't got time to talk. I'm too busy doing.
Girl, that was a good one, too. I ain't looked that one up. Now, you know I got to look that up. Go ahead.
Look what I do now. You always catching me. You always be catching me. I'm like, what? What's going on? What the hell?
Oh, man, we got so much still. We haven't even talked about the women lying part, and it does actually go with what we're saying now, the clues that we leave behind. It's so much more than just the title of the show or the name of the show, the Gumbo Cafe. If you guys pay attention to us, we hit on stuff with a purpose. And if it takes an iron to sharpen iron, we're the ski. That's what we're doing, boo. That's what we're doing. Now we're going to lighten it up a little bit. And I know the song choice is odd. However, this is for my cousin, Ronald Sims. We're going to go ahead and go to the second half. But this song reminded me of him. This is the one who passed away the other night. Like I said, a very young fellow who had so many ideas. And anyway, this song is for him. Again, it's a little bit upbeat. I handle death and situations differently than anybody else. But, this is West Coast right here. And this is where we were from. And hearing him when he would rap this song, it kind of put me, hyphy. That's a little clue. Anyway, Diyah, take us to the second half. We're going to go to break, 5 minutes. You guys get something to drink, and we'll be back.
the tight one. Ooh, tell me when to go. Talking on my getro on my way to the south. My second or third trip. Some Henny, some swishers, and some Listerine trips. Dr. Green Thumb lips just to ease my thoughts. Not just the cops, but the homies you gotta watch. The moon is full, look at the dark clouds. Sitting in my scraper watching Oakland going wild, ta-da. I don't bump mainstream, I knock underground. All that other sugar-coated and watered down. I'm from the Bay where we hyphy and go jump. From the soil where them rappers be getting they lingo from. Tell me when to go. 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 I'm up that 18 double dose. I got man, labels a black suit. King of the super duper happy. And your wife, you don't want me like from the Bay to the A. Put me in the backwoods with just 3 words, nigga. So, it's just a shot, bro. I said he couldn't be saved by Donda. I slid past on the gas. That, it's good, like the granddaddy. Cross game, you get flipped like a burger patty. A zigzag, pass me the big old fatty. I drink white with a snow buddy. Talking big shit in a scraper for a hella dumb. Acting on it, how's that quiet? I mean, y'all don't say no. Tell me when to go. 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 Now let me direct traffic for a minute. Let me tell y'all about this hockey movement we got going in the back. When I say something, you say it right back at me. You said we're gonna do it like this here. Ghost ride the wind. Ghost ride the wind. Ghost ride the wind. Ghost ride the wind. Now scrape, 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 scrape. Put your stunner shades on. 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 Now gas, brake, dip, dip. Gas, brake, dip, dip. Shake them dreads. Shake them dreads. Shake them dreads. Shake them dreads. Let me see you show your grid. 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 Now see it, sex, see it, sex. See it, sex, see it, sex. Doors open, man. Doors open, man. Doors open, man. Doors open, man. Now watch them swing, watch them swing. Now watch them swing, watch them swing. Go stupid, go, go, go stupid, go, go. Tell me when to 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 go.
This is Living Alive. Make sure you check out my new single titled Abandoned off of my upcoming EP titled Pieces of Me. I'm chilling with the ladies, Shani and Diyah, at the Gumbo Cafe.
Hey! Tune in every Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time to the Gumbo Cafe with your host, Shani Simpson and Diyah on Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to the Gumbo Cafe with your hosts, Shani Sanderson and Diyah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gumbo Cafe. Welcome back to the Gumbo Cafe. That was, of course, E40. Oh, man. Anyway, the number is 347-202-0388. And, of course, we are going to get into the main topic of the show. But before we do that, we got a sister here. She over there, she was burning up hot. You know, she needed to have a fan on herself, bless her heart. we drop these like that over here. Gigi, what you doing, boo? We love you. Oh, wait a minute. Now I thought I pressed the button. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Gigi, we love you. How you doing, girl?
Hey, you guys. Hey, oh, my gosh. You guys, as usual, are spitting the truth. And I am enjoying every minute of it. There's just so much. When you talk about women telling lies, I want to share this with you all because today I spent a little bit of time in someone actually tagged me on this post where they had roasted a girl who posted that she's going to be homeless in 4 days and she got her kid, and she said how many people had helped her and how much money. But anyway, that wasn't even the main thing. There was another chick on this post who was the lying woman.
Uh-oh.
She sat there and she was like, you don't know what this chick did to me and this, and I'm like, this is childish. And I tagged myself, of course, but of course they kept tagging me because I didn't agree with them that this was hilarious. I didn't find anything funny about it. And she was saying, you don't know what she did to me and this and that and whatever else. And I was like, why are you not focused on yourself? Do you know what I mean? If you had a beef with her, okay, let it go. She finds herself in a low point. You should be hoping that she would have better. But this went on for hours back. They, you know how roast groups go. So they go pull your pictures. Of course, they call your man. They say you on drugs and, all that other, the basic stuff. Yeah, I'm used to roast stuff, so it doesn't bother me. I think it's amusing, honestly.
Is it the group that I think it is, Bobby's World?
No, it was not in the group. Someone actually tagged me to this post with this young lady, and she's very young. And
wow.
And the person recorded her phone call. This was not a video that she made. Yeah. And they put up text of the stuff that she had text back and forth, and she was like, screw this, I guess I'm going to dance. But the other chick, she was so hyped off of all these dudes around her. And they, they digging on me. They talking about this other chick, and I was like, you know what's funny? This chick that you're making fun of is probably a better chick than you because she found herself at this point. They're like, oh, she's showing her crotch and she doing this, and I'm like, even still, you know what I mean? She up there, she out front with hers. You sitting here creeping with these dudes in your inbox. You doing the same thing. I was like, you probably showed your cooter to more people and ain't even get no likes, kids included. But because I can get ugly in the roast room, they just be clicking. Them dudes be like, dag, I'm going to just step back. But I don't know why.
You aging yourself. Stop it.
I am old. They called me all that, too. I was like, yeah, go on. What's next? But I felt sorry for the young lady whose video they posted, but I was really more upset with the girl who felt like because of whatever that chick did to her, it was a dig to her, and she was hooping and hollering, although I know I was laughing today at the fire post, but that was funny. But to me, that was when women, we do as women, we fight so much against each other unnecessarily. I mean, for nothing really, and some things we just make up in our head or our mind about the next person because we carry baggage, and we always think baggage deal with a sexual relationship. But, honey, we carry baggage from our friendships as well. So I just wanted to say that real quick. That's all I want to say about the lies.
Girl, you know you didn't want to say that real quick. You know that you wanted to hear your voice because I did. Girl, say it to me. Say it again. Let me stop. We also see one of our other sisters in the chat room, Jay. We see you. Hey, boo. If you want to call in, the number is 347-202-0388. Give us a call. And, baby, if you want to join in on the topic as well about the things that women lie about. And, okay, let me ask you this. Do you think that young lady was lying who was struggling? Gigi?
I really don't. I don't think it was a phone call. Like I said, they did a Donald Sterling on her.
Oh wow!
something they had posted a video of. Yeah, seriously, they did Sterling on her and posted the second stuff they were sending between them. They really tried to hurt this chick. And I was like, this solo, please don't ever tag me in anything like this. It's solo. I don't care what it is that, you know, I went through or whatever it is, just to wish that person the best. Because maybe just this time, y'all know y'all are into the inner stuff like that. Maybe y'all are interested and it's just on another, and maybe another time y'all can be on this again, but you should never wish anybody bad and cheer that on.
Mm-hmm. Is this Waterford in the vodka?
Girl, no.
Waterford in the vodka.
No.
I just messed with you in that daggone Skype. I messed with you in that daggone Skype.
Her and her Skype. Yeah, we have irreconcilable differences with you and your Skype. It's over there cutting up. Girl, you know you might as well, we know your number. You might as well just call in instead of using Skype.
That's so hard. My phone is worse than the Skype. Make it so bad.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't call in. I'm so sorry, but yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. I got what you were saying though. It is sad that people tend to pick on folks, especially when they're at their lowest point. And you know, it's a part of revenge that a lot of women love to be revengeful. We're devious at wanting to hurt somebody. You know, sometimes I gotta watch myself. Yeah. Sometimes I do got to watch myself because I can be an ass. But I tell you guys I'm an ass, so you guys know to expect it. But still, I mean, when somebody is down, you actually have to listen to them because they probably are, you don't know how they are emotionally. And you don't know if they will snap or anything. And you know, I don't even know the girl, but I bet you anything she probably is struggling right now. But for people to pull videotapes of conversations and then go to her website and try to, you know, roast her or bully her really at her lowest point, that's not a good look. And, you know, we always talk about young kids who are bullies, but, you know, they get it from the adults. The adults are the worst bullies in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, these are grown people that are on these websites. These are not little kids. Some of these people have kids, and it's so ugly to me because you never know at any minute where that could happen to you. You could have a tornado blow down your house. And I was like, if any of you in this page right now have a year's worth of salary in your bank account, keep talking. Because you never know what can happen to you or how long it can take you to get another job. You may end up just like this chick tomorrow.
Right.
So a lot of folks living paycheck to paycheck. This, to me, that's not funny. You know, and I volunteer at a soup kitchen that deals with vets. You know, veterans are people who have served for us. And it was like, don't ever, ever, ever in your life tag me. I don't even know why you tag me because this is not funny to me.
Right. And you know what, Gigi, it's more than people living check by check. They're living in the hole check by check. I mean, you know, as soon as, what is it they have in our community? They have a lot of check cashing places, and, you know, the person is already in the hole, so they're 2 checks, 3 checks behind, and those check cashing places charges 316% for the loans that you get from them. You know what? Yeah, those payday loans. And the title loans are more than 316%. Now, I'm just going to say this real quick. Y'all don't see the 4 of us interacting on web pages all the time. But let me tell you, we have Gigi, Jade, Diyah, and myself on the line right now, so there's no telling what's going to happen. Jade, what you doing, boo? How you doing over there, Jade?
Hey, ladies. How y'all doing, beautiful?
Woo, woo.
Hey, Jade.
Woo, woo. And before we even get started some more on the topic of what Gigi was saying, first, Gigi, let me ask you what you do on Thursday nights, and then Jade, what you also do on Thursday nights. First, you, Gigi.
We try to make people make it better. And
she put the sexy voice on.
I know, girl. Look, I'm getting moist.
I'm sorry. And you know
gonna
what?
stop making me question my sexuality.
A lot of people are sexually frustrated. That's why we have these roast groups. So that's what we're talking about on this Thursday. Sexual frustration. Okay, get it out. Get it in.
Get it out.
Yes.
Rub it out.
Yeah, rub it out.
And Jade, Miss Beautiful Green Princess or Queen that you are, what do you do on Thursdays? Girl, you know you just so fine too. Both of y'all just fine.
Y'all are silly. I also have a sex topic that I'm going to be discussing this Thursday. Mine's is at 9 p.m. Eastern on Erotic Talk Radio. So we do what we do to try to, we're trying to make it better too. It's not called making it better, but we're trying to make it better too on Erotic Talk Radio. So yeah.
All right.
They
Y'all
nasty
got some
over there. They nasty. I can't listen at the same time, so I have to check it out later. But y'all, it's nasty.
And that's how I have to do with Gigi. That's the only thing that I don't like is we kind of cross with our shows that we can't really, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's cool.
It's cool though.
But y'all have a powerful topic this evening, ladies. I'm telling you, is that these sisters out here, it's crazy what they do.
Now, what do you see that they do? Because Gigi just mentioned that there's some of those revengeful females that are out there leaving clues and hints, but actually they're just being bold and straightforward, trying to hurt the weakest hen in the chicken coop. But what have you seen as well, Jade, with the people that you consult?
I mean, I've seen women go as far as laughing and grinning and trying to make friends with a woman in her face, but really behind her face, she stabbed her in her back, So I think that's really hard. I know on Facebook you got, like the perfect example is you have an author who's a writer and she's very hard at work trying to do what she does, and a lady who she thought is her friend, someone stole her book. She was a ghostwriter for someone. And so now her friend, who she thought was her friend, has now befriended the person that's trying to steal her material. And she's like, you didn't pay me for my ghostwriting, what I did for you. So rightfully so, this is my book. I wrote it for you. You didn't pay me. I'm publishing it with my name, because she worked hard at it. Now her friend is now befriended this person that was originally supposed to be the author, but she's making friends and acting like, oh no, it's not like that, and it's like you don't stab me in my back, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So for me, if you're my friend and somebody's doing you dirty, my loyalty is to you, and I'm gonna come back and let you know they're doing you wrong, they're doing you dirty. I'm not gonna make friends with them. So in my eyes and in my opinion, those kind of things happen, and it's like, come on now, be real. Don't be fake with it. Don't try to, see what you can get out of a person.
Yeah.
Your own friend in the back who will do anything for you, really.
Why do you guys think we do those things as women? I mean, do you think it's something that is inherent, or is it something that we've learned?
I think it could be a little bit of both, but because I don't want to blame inherent and it coming with inherent, because you can break the chain, you can break the cycle. So people utilizing that as an excuse for me is like, come on, if you know it's wrong, or you didn't like how it was done to you or whatever, and it happened and it trickled down from family member to family member, doesn't mean you do it. You know what I'm saying? So that is BS for me as an excuse.
Yeah,
I think it's learned.
Yeah,
really,
it is. It can be, but I mean, yeah.
I mean, we always have the predator and the prey. We have to be honest with that.
We do have the predator and the prey. We do have the predator and prey, but when it comes to women on women, look at all the shows that we watch in general, majority of women on the shows on a daily basis, whereas instead of taking the problem to the woman right there when that problem happens so they can work it out before it get further, how many of them go to all the other friends and everybody else to get their input from basically one side of the story and then get back up before they go to the other person? Now look at how many people do that in real life and how many people watch these shows. Look at how many people who couldn't talk to their mom, but they talked to all their friends, but their problem was with their mother. And, it may be because, the mother keeps telling them whatever, but then that's a learned behavior from the mother, who the mother learned from somebody else, who the mother learned from somebody else, or the mother started that behavior because she didn't want to be judged. To me, that's a learned behavior. That's not something inherent. Now, being spiteful, that's inherent. I'll admit that. I'm a spiteful-ass person. That's inherent. I'm an asshole. That's inherent. But how I show that it can be learned through what's around me or through my environment, can teach me how to use that. Because just because I'm an asshole, I mean I got to use it in a negative way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So to me, it's learned.
Can I say this, that I think to women, a lot of people just really don't know how to express themselves. And they want, they want to just put it all out there, but they're afraid and they're meek. Like you said, they're afraid of what people are going to think or how it's going to be. But some people just really have no clue of how to express themselves without it being too harsh. Because, see, Diyah, a lot of people take Diyah and be like, girl, I can't deal with her. And I love Diyah. Because Diyah going to tell me like it is, girl, your breath stink, eat this gum. That's the chick I want to hang out with in the club.
Not trying to pass it to you. Oh, girl, you want some? And pop it in their mouth. Exactly. They just come out and just say, girl, it's not working right now. You need this.
Exactly. And then wait, or the other chick that won't say, they'll try to be meek, like Jay just said, and then wait till you leave and talk to everybody else about how your breath smell. So, see, we do need to work on it, but we also have to be understanding that we need to bring that out in some people, because some people are really meek. They're really meek, and they're not gonna do that. They're just and they think that it's inappropriate for you to do that. They would be so disgusted. I love Diyah, but girl, it's some folks to be like, girl, I can't deal with you. And what I love that about her.
Say what they really say. They say, I can't stand that bitch.
But she gonna tell you, girl, you know all your booty out. You know you look crazy right now. You know you look like a hoe. But that's the friend you want instead of the ones have you out there where they have your pictures on Facebook right now with half your titty out and everything else, and you look crazy. And yeah, you got 500 likes, but you look crazy and you look desperate. I'd rather have
you got that girl that's saying, girl, you look good. You look good. Go ahead, rock that. And then they going behind your back, girl. Did you see how she looked?
No, right? She wore that tight tail dress, knowing really well she looked like a Vienna sausage clamped up. Yes, that does happen. But okay, so do you guys notice that? Okay, since it's us here, do you think that we change or we have a certain air about us around men? Do we do a lot of lying in their presence to appear to be better, and do we compete to beat out the other woman?
Oh, just compete is too much. That's definite.
I know I sound weird.
Especially with those that say I don't want him, but you sitting up here doing all this, unnecessary stuff. Or you telling me I don't need to be with him, for what? And then you, behind my back, you secretly going on over there, like easing your way over there, for what? If you really don't care, if you don't like him, if you're not digging him like that, why are you, So it's certain things that women do to be a little shysty, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, be real. And then the loudness, I've noticed that a lot of times now to communicate, you got to be extra around men or people to try to prove I'm bad, I'm tough, I'm this. And it's like the overpowering of the masculinity energy that you don't have to have. But you're trying. What are you trying to prove to overpower this woman to impress this man, you know. So yeah.
Now, you know what? It's interesting when you said that. I'm gonna go here just for a second because, you know, for a female who is not aware of the power or energy or whatever it is that they have within, you know, to them they're just doing an act and thinking that they're competing. But what about the woman who knows the energy that she has and how to manipulate it? Is she then at fault, or is she the type of person that is doing this for a purpose to build a better environment for herself?
It depends on her ulterior motive. You know, you can understand and know energy and the power of it, and still be as conniving as a person who doesn't understand it and using their, you know what I'm saying, using their personality, their actions, or their tonation just as vocally as a person that can do with their energy. You know. You know, it's funny that you said that because I'm a little slick, and I know y'all noticed it. Notice none of us said that she admitted it, okay?
I was being nice.
I'm a little slick on purpose. And there was a post that the power of the feminine. And, you know, a lot of people on the outside will look at it and say, oh, you're being desperate or you're doing this, that, and the other. But there's still an ulterior, like you were saying, Jade, that it's an ultimate wanting to reach. How can...
Oh, Shani, you breaking up.
Is it me or is it me? That's all getting right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're breaking up, babe.
You said how can...
You're breaking up.
That was my Skype. Yeah, we can't even hear you.
Oh, my gosh. My phone is tripping. Okay. How can y'all hear me now, or am I still breaking up?
You're clear now.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So how is it a woman who is not aware of the feminine or whatever it is that, how is a woman who is not aware of the feminine can groom into knowing what energy she carries to get to the ultimate goal? And the ultimate goal might not be a man. The ultimate goal might be to build on something else that she's looking for. What are y'all suggestions?
You mean, I don't understand. Say the question. You're asking how would she know her energy?
Yes. Yeah. How would she know her energy? When a woman knows her true essence of a human being, how would she know to groom that?
She has to know the power of thought. She has to know the power of thought, how the energy and thought can travel and kind of manipulate things to manifest the way she wants to. If that's how you're asking it.
Yeah, that's how I'm asking.
Yeah. I'm going to.
Go ahead, Gigi.
Go ahead.
Yes.
If you say energy, you can actually feel that. You can see when you smile or look at a man or do something a certain way, you're going to draw his energy the same light. His eyes, his lips, his body movement will change. You can actually see that in front of you if you really pay attention. With the simplest human being, like just the dude opening your door, you can see when he's looking at your butt, like, and waiting to exhale. When she was like, I hope he's not looking at my butt. He's looking at I know he's looking at my butt. You know what I'm saying? You can feel that, but that's just my little, that's it.
But that's a good insight.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying that's a good insight. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I was going to say if I can just kind of piggyback off of what Gigi said, and another thing is just the emotions, that they know and understand how all of that ties in together, that's their energy. And so when they start dishing out that negativeness, a lot of times your negative energy, and you're more into the energy, you're more into the energy than a lot of us, and so you know more of the power of the energy. I was going to say Diyah, Shawnee, Shawnee. So you understand. I think you may understand what I'm saying, but it has always been said to me that things can materialize faster with negative energy than it can with positive energy because you're just like so fuming and you're just that ball of energy. It just really intensifies and enhances a lot quicker. So when you have these women who have like an ulterior motive, they have that down low hatred for a female, but they're smiling and grinning at her. A lot of times, even thought, and a lot of times women don't realize that's power. That thought and all that stuff that you're wishing, ill will to somebody or whatever, and then something is happening to this person, they're not realizing it's them that can actually do this to that person because they have so much hatred and they need to do something positive with it. You know what I'm saying? But these ladies, they just don't realize the power of the energy and what they can do and how, if they maneuver it and utilize that, take that negative energy and flow with it in a positive way, they can be just as powerful, but in a positive way. It's we got to stick together as females. It's not about, you doing me dirty and I'm going to do you dirty type of thing. It's getting a little, it's more, I don't even know how I'm trying to say it because it ain't flowing the way I want it to flow, but it's just over the top, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So it has become more, you used to see the men doing it and here and there you see the ladies, but now it's like sisters all over the place. And like Diyah said, you got too many of these shows that people are watching and they're thinking this is how you're supposed to act. And it's like, come on, no. So, yeah.
Now, what about this? Wait, my turn. I didn't get the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
My bad. Go ahead, girl. Shawty jumped in. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to take this in a different direction because when we talk about women and finding their essence of themselves, the first thing I'm going to say is whatever spiritual system you're in, find the divine feminine because every spiritual system has a divine feminine. In the major religions, it's mostly hidden. In the other religions that me and Jade are in, it's not hidden, it's out there and it's in your face. Find the divine feminine aspect of that and study that and see if that's what you want to be first. And if not, switch to a religion or a spirituality system that has the setup that you want to embody. That's one. Two, the second thing I'm going to say is...
Yes.
The second thing I'm going to say is what I always say is, of course, astrology. If you know how to read astrology, you can understand it, fine. Get your astrology, you can get it for free. If you don't know how to understand it, you need somebody to break it down simple. Of course, I'm going to suggest myself because I don't just do general. I break it down in certain areas, and personality is one area I break it down in. Get an astrology reading and understand your own personal makeup. And once you understand your own personal makeup, you understand the things that tick you off. You understand the things that were just natural. You're like, I don't know why this thing made me mad, but it made me mad. Astrology would teach you why it made you mad. Astrology would teach you why certain people just rub you the wrong way. Not that bad person, they just rub you the wrong way. Right. Astrology would teach you that.
Yeah.
And it might be that astrological sign.
It is. It might be just your astrological makeup, and their astrological makeup just rubbing the wrong way. And one of the biggest things, a lot of people think that they're just their sun sign. You are not. You're your sun, your moon, and your ascending as in major, and then there's whole other houses and other energies in there. And for a lot of people, what they don't understand is that the person that you hide, the person that you keep secret, the person that somebody close to you has to know is your ascending sign. A lot of people try to say it's your moon sign. It's not. It's your ascending sign. Your ascending sign is who you are most likely that you keep secret that people don't normally see until you're pissed off. Now, taking off what Jay said, what Jay said about being angry. Huh?
Wait, Gigi had a question.
I feel like we in our own little church up in here.
I know, right? But
I know we are in our own
ascending. The ascending sign. Can you just help me understand what ascending sign means for some of us that's a little bit slower?
Okay. Well, you have your sun. You have 12 houses. You have your sun sign. Yeah, you have your 12 houses, and then you have your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascending sign. The moon sign, if you think about the way nature is and the moon has its shadow. That's the one that people claim to be the most persistent or the present. That's the first thing they claim to see when they see you. But the ascending sign is the prevalent one. Dia's going to go ahead into it even more. Like she was saying, there's the general side of it, and then there's the in-depth. I'm the one that does the general, but we're going to let her do the in-depth version.
Okay, the in-depth sign is when you first meet somebody, the first thing they see is your sun sign. They don't say, oh, you're so this, you're happy, you're this, whatever. That's the first thing you see. As you get to know a person just a little bit, your emotions start to come out. That's your moon sign. Your emotions, your intuition, your natural instincts. But who you truly are at the core, the part that you have for most people is for judging, or whether because you just don't want to know if you got Scorpio ascending, you just don't want them to know, whatever. The thing you keep to yourself, your ascending sign.
Why did you bring up Scorpio, though? You didn't have to bring up.
I did on purpose. But anyway, as your ascending sign is the one who you keep to yourself. Now, in your astrology chart, you have 12 houses, and they start from let's say you have a pie, and you divide that pie in half. That first quarter of that bottom half will be considered your first house. You're going to divide the top half into 6 houses, divide the bottom half into 6 houses. That first quarter of the bottom half will be considered your ascending sign. That's who you truly are, because that, even though the sign could be anything, the energy of that house is Aries, and Aries is the I am, period. I am. That's who you naturally are. That's the part that you keep to yourself. That's the part you keep hitting unless somebody truly knows you. That's the part that, you only your closest friends and your family see. And that's the part everybody else in the world normally doesn't see unless you're pissed off. Does it make sense now?
With me, I was going to say, with me, normally people see my moon sign, which is the leader, the Aries, that head. And that's where you attract the type of person that, they think you're this way, but you're really not that way. But you have, like your sun sign, oh, you're a Scorpio, or you're a Sagittarius, or you're an Aries. That's really not who you are. What Diyah is saying is that ascending sign is the in-depth part of you that is what is hidden from the world or hidden from people until you connect with them. And then you begin exposing that side of you.
Wow. See,
exactly.
An Aries.
Exactly. Now, a lot of people would teach you. A lot of people would teach that's the moon sign, but the moon sign is just how you emotionally interpret the world around you. That's all your moon sign is. Your ascending sign is how you naturally.
And within astrology is that people always think when it comes to the moon, people who don't understand. Let me just say that people who don't understand, they feel like, when you talk about the moon, whether it be new moon, full moon, or whatever, crescent, mindset is that it's a bad thing. When you talk about full moon and the benefit of the full moon, people think that is a bad thing. Oh, that's evil. That means bad things is getting ready to happen. It's a full moon. That's why somebody's cutting up or whatever. And their astrological sign and the sign of the moon that the moon is facing at that time or in alignment with astrological, that may be why that person is within their behavior zone at that time. They might be kicked up, spiked up because they're ready to do, and it's not necessarily they just temperamental, It might be like, I'm anxious, I'm trying to, but people just, that's another thing that I noticed that people don't understand, Diyah, because when we talk about it, my thing is, in my thinking, and I don't know if you can kick back on that, I always felt like, regardless of what your religion is, you need to also understand the importance of your prayer or whatever you do, chanting or magic or whatever you do, or aligning yourself with the energy in the universe at certain times of the moon as well, when it comes to astrology. And, some people don't get that. They think that's strange.
Well, I'm going to say this. Whether you deal with astrology or not, when it comes to the moon, most religions secretly go by the moon calendar and not the sun. If you start to line up the holy days, most of them come after the full moon or the first moon of this or the first moon of that. They go by the moon calendar and not the sun sign. While they tell you to worship the sun, they're going by the moon. Okay. Now, to give you a history on the moon, because I don't want people to think they have to deify and personify the moon and make it, some god like they made certain other people in religions. Basically, how the moon thing came about is when we was over in, I'm going to say Egypt, but it's not necessarily Egypt. But we was over in a certain place, and because being over there, we dealt with the water because we had the heat, we had the sun. The sun actually wasn't our enemy, but it wasn't necessarily our best friend either. Like being, if you live in the winter mountains, your sun is your best friend because you need to stay warm. Well, if you're in a warm climate, the water is actually your best friend. So, certain times of the year, what would happen is that the water would recede. Not the year. Certain times of the month, the water would recede, and we was able to get the catfish and the shellfish and the lobsters and the crabs and the shrimps and all that lower things that dwell on the bottom of the sea where if the water's too high, we can't get to. We were able to do that. So after doing this for some time, we started noticing that when the tide was the lowest was when the moon, the tide was the lowest was when the moon was new. Meaning, I'm sorry, not the moon was new, when the moon was dark, because the dark moon is actually a 3-day process.
Right.
So we noticed that the moon...
When the moon is full, the tides are high. I just want to bring it real quick. For those who live by the ocean, when it's high tide time, that's when the moon is at complete circle and it's bright as heck. The tides are completely high. When it's a new moon, the waves come in at a lower level. Like Diyah was about to say, they're very slow. They're very calm. Everything is different around you. The energy is different around you. That's the time when things are building up to the new moon, to where, to the full moon, to where the energy is strongest. The moon is closest to the earth also during a full moon. And that's why people say, people are crazy when the moon is full. But no, really, it's just the energy is stronger and it's building up and producing whatever it is you thought about or was focusing on when the tides were low, when it was new, when you were gathering. And then it produces or it releases when that moon is full. If ever you hear a female say that I am on my moon cycle, that means she's on her period. That means the tide is full. She is releasing now everything that has been built inside of her to cleanse out her system or soul or spirit.
Wow.
Right.
That is beautiful.
And actually, in origin, our cycle actually lines up with the dark moon, because that time when they're saying that we're releasing and everything, you're releasing nutrients. These are things that you can use to create stuff. And I don't want to go too deep into it, but if you look at the word blessed in etymology actually means the word blessed. It was the moon cycle of the woman that was originally used to bless certain things. The word blessed actually means the word blood when you look at etymology. But getting back to the moon.
Hold on, before we do that, you guys got 6 minutes to call in. We don't went somewhere else. The number is 347-202-0388. But again, 6 minutes to call in before we go into overtime. We're going to talk a little bit more about astrology, but we also will focus on the things that women talk about or the lies that we tell. But before Diyah goes into the purpose of the full moon and the new moon, 347-202-0388. Go ahead, Diyah.
Okay. So now, so we started picking up and gathering during the new moon. Well, they also noticed that during this new moon, a woman's cycle lines up with, during the dark moon, because the dark moon is actually when you can't see the moon. The new moon is actually when you can see the crescent of the moon. When you study history and time, you'll see that you see how that lines up. But so we started gathering during that time, and they noticed that during the 3 dark days of the dark moon, a woman's cycle lined up with it. So they learned to track the rising and the lowering of the tide based off a woman's cycle. And this is where they made their first, and then they started to realize certain things are here during this moon, certain things during this moon, certain herbs do this through this moon, certain herbs do this through this moon. And this is where we got our first moon calendar. And this was the first calendar that we ever went by, was the moon calendar, which was first based off the woman's cycle, because they was able to get their food and gather based off the woman's cycle. They knew when the women were in a tent, it was time to one tent having their cycles and their rituals, it was time to go gather food. So that's basically what that whole thing comes out as far as the moon.
Some people call it the Babylonian calendar. The Jewish call it a different calendar. So they all have different names, but we actually follow what she's saying is we follow the moon calendar. That's where we're supposed to fall. And if you've been in a group, as far as holidays, and if you've been around a group of women, and Diyah and I always talk about this, normally what's supposed to happen is all of our cycles run together. But the way things have been running is because of the food that we eat, because we're not in tune with what's going on around us, our cycles have been out of whack.
Can I ask a question? When it comes to the cycles, it was always stated that the alpha female within the group would actually change all the cycles within her household. We would run her cycle. Do you
as far
believe
as the
that?
alpha thing, no. I'm going to say no. As far as the alpha thing, we have been trained to go for the alpha male. So because we've been trained to go for the alpha male, during that time, not when we're on a cycle, but during that time where we want to breed, we're attracted to the alpha male. But when you get into the science of it, it's only those couple of days where we're actually ovulating that we want the alpha male, and then the rest of the month, they repel us. They get on our nerves. We can't stand them. And this is biologically when you study the science of it. So as far as alpha male, we've been trained to go after them, based on society and what society says a man is. So we trained ourselves to go after that when we're trying to mate. But during the rest of the month, which is the majority of the time you're going to be around a dude, naturally you won't be able to stand them.
I mean, but do you believe in the alpha female?
No. The thing is, it's bigger than it's not. It has nothing to do with human beings. It has everything to do with the alignments of the planets. We could call ourselves alphas, betas, zetas, omegas, sci-fi, AKA. We can call ourselves whatever the heck it is we want to call ourselves. But it ultimately goes with the alignment of where the planets are. The planets aligned at particular points is more powerful than us little beings. If you look at the way the planets are aligned and you look at us, we're merely ants on a mound. We're just merely workers. But the bigger picture has something more to say than what we have to say. We're gatherers, we're hunters, but we are supposed to abide by where those placements are at each time. This is one thing they kind of threw in and we got away from it. It's called an almanac. We do it here on the farm. Yeah. We know when to plant. We know not when to plant. We know when to build. We know when not to build. We know when to clear out everything that does not need to be in the environment. We know when to calm, rest, and pray. The thing is, at one point, and I wouldn't say it was around the time during the Nicene Creed, I would actually say prior to the Nicene Creed, it was the Catholic Church rule. Prior to that, we lost touch of that idea of paying attention to the alignments, paying attention to the moon and the signs and the stars. And matter of fact, they kind of helped with it by taking out the books in the Bible, the lost books in the Bible.
Yeah.
That explained where those things are and how we are supposed to plant, how we are supposed to groom, and they claimed it was the devil or astrology work. But, that's another topic for another show. However, I wouldn't say it has anything to do with an alpha human being whatsoever, because when you look at the bigger picture, we all work together with the uniformity of the planets aligning.
And when you look at the bigger picture, everybody's true alpha. I mean, each individual person's true alpha is going to be different. The alpha that's for me is not going to be the alpha that's for Shiny. It's not going to be the alpha that's going to be for G. It's not going to be the alpha that's going to be for Jade, because all of our astrological makeup is different. So the thing is, like I said, we've been trained because we've been given a one alpha type that does not go for every astrological makeup. And that's where the problem comes in at.
Which is where the ascending sign comes in, and the moon sign, and the sun sign, which is why you guys need to contact Diyah at orisoasis.com. That's ORISOASIS.com. 8 seconds before you guys can call in, 347-202-0388. Actually, 2 seconds, and boom, we're already in overtime. Okay, so since we're here in overtime, and I didn't mean to, throw you guys out. I just, some of the listeners are like, they speak in Chinese right now. I don't know what the heck they're saying. But to bring it back, just for a quick second, hold on, I got to see the topic real quick. Y'all, excuse me. Are women lying? Secrets they leave behind. And I guess it will kind of tie into our astrological signs and the moon signs, sun signs, ascending signs, the Venus and Jupiter, all of those planets, Saturn, communication. Do we lie as women, or is not even as a whole, but as individuals to reach that ultimate goal? And if so, what do you think our ultimate goal is for each group of women? First, looking at present time, and then looking at astrological or what have you. What do you think it is we're doing it? Are we doing it as a collective? Because we've been all accused as being women that we're no good, we're negative, we're liars, we're cheaters, we ain't shit. We've heard all of this. Do you guys think that it has been a form of protection for us to I guess hide our true identity, which is that ascending, or are we doing it again, like Diyah and Jade were saying, for other purposes, because it was self-taught or it was taught by generations? What do you guys think?
I personally think part of that lying goes back into the difference between a woman and a lady. Like, again, a lady was. This is how I personally feel. Regardless of your, when it comes to your astrology sign, that all shows in just how you do it. But as far as doing it, it to me ties into being the difference between a lady and a woman, because a woman has always spoken up. A woman always said how she feel, when she feel it, then give two shits about how you felt about it, deal with it. And when you look through history, it's always been the same, and she's always been demonized for it. Now, the lady, being as though she has the image of hold, she cannot directly challenge a man in public. And behind closed doors, she still cannot directly challenge those. So she had to manipulate and lie to get the things she wanted, or even to get him to do the things that will help him. It's not always that she manipulated for her own gain. A lot of times she did what she did for her husband. And children. To advance him, and children, to advance them in life. And in doing that, she had to manipulate and lie because she can't be the one out front. So she had to find out what's going on with the world through her ladies in waiting or her servants, because they was the ones, after they done their job, they went out there in the world. And from that, she was able to find certain things. This is where you get to all the societies of the different wives, whereas, you have the husbands clubs, but most people don't talk about, but the husbands have their clubs, but the wives have their own little social clubs, where if you're not part of their clique, you're not getting in. So this is where they associate with the wives. And this is where the wives did certain things and schemes and did all this other stuff to get the men to agree, whereas the woman, not saying that the woman didn't have a husband. If she did have a husband, she did have a man. She was up front with him, and she was able to talk to him one-on-one. I'm hearing an echo. Is that just me?
No, I'm hearing an echo, too.
Yeah, you're kind of reverbing.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. No, it's not better.
Okay, we're going to go. I'm just going to go right now. Oh, that's not good either. Well, I can't hang up and call back.
No, you sure can't, boo. And Jade, what do you think? Hold on, let's see. Did we lose Jade?
No, Jade's still here somewhere.
I think so. I think you guys did. I want to say something real quick.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
It's gone now.
Yeah, I muted Jade.
Okay. I wanted to just say this. A lot of women, as women, we do manipulate the hell out of each other. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's intentional. Just like how you said women get different labels. In my youth, I met guys that I really honestly weren't physically attracted to, but they were good to me, and I hoped that I would learn to love them the way that they loved me. So I kept the money train going and everything else. But I've always been an upfront and honest person about how I feel. You know, communication is not just something that I just post. I'm serious about what I have to say and what I mean. And that deals with friendships between us. And ladies, we do get labeled sometimes wrongly, not wrong, incorrectly, and unintentionally, because there's a lot of things within us. We are nurturers naturally. You know what I mean? We'll get the weak dog and the broken the broken winged bird, and we'll try to mend them all the time. But does that make us weak? For some, it does, because we're women, like you said, and we get put into certain categories. But I don't think it's always intentional. But I've seen a lot of intentional chicks out here. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all lying. Y'all need to quit lying. But you know what I'm saying. But I won't say everybody's like that. I think that's why y'all call me the mama, because I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Like, please don't really be this person. I really want to help you. But I'm the one trying to fix the broken winged bird. But, I mean, I hope that we're not all doing that intentionally, because sometimes we do want the big picture, you know. Like you said, what are we out there going for? Is it marriage? Is it long-term friendship with our friend after our husbands die? And we rocking and talking about when we used to strip back in 1982. I mean, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. When we went to the club, we all want that. So I'm just out there. That's
Well, okay, let's see if we can bring Jade back in, too. Jade, are you there? 410? Jade Pooh, we love you. Jade, can you hear us?
She's saying she hears nothing.
Oh, she don't hear anything? Her line is open, though.
Yeah, her line is up, but she's saying she hears nothing.
Oh, wow.
Nope, we don't hear you.
We might have to call her. Can you call her on three-way? Because you know what happened with my phone.
If I had her number.
It's right there in the for real?
Oh, it is right there.
Wow. Y'all, see, this is what I do with every day, and I love her, though.
Shut up. I'm going to call her. Shut up.
Oh, man. While we're waiting for Diyah to call her, Gigi, I actually think that a lot of women are doing stuff in line to get to that ultimate goal, at least these days, because they aren't aware of that purpose that they have within. And this whole being spiteful and hurting somebody else, it bothers me. It does bother me, because we can be more than what we're showing right now. And I can kind of see why guys talk about us the way they do, but at some point we have to change. At some point we have to, instead of saying that we got a golden coochie, we actually have to live a life like we are aware of our being, aware of our purpose, and not just to hurt somebody else, because hurting somebody else ends up hurting a whole lot of folks.
Yeah, that's true. You know how I am.
I
feel so bad. I'm so bad when I had a portion moment. Like when she laid on that floor and she felt, I know you guys are not reality watch, but she laid on that floor after she grabbed and pulled the beat in spite of that shit. I've had that moment in my now, and I felt not really my body physically, but I've had that verbally, and I felt like crap. I seriously felt like crap. And I shared that with you, Shani, because it was like, I can't believe I really stooped this low. I really so bad inside. Like, why couldn't I just let that go? Why couldn't I just... I think we all have that one moment. But once you know it's that moment and you can see it, then you can get past it.
Right. Right. And it takes some time to get past that moment. And we got Jade back. Hey, boo, how you doing?
Hey, girl. I was like, what's going on? Gumbo Cafe cut me down. They took the wire. Landline, I'm done.
No, you still here. But what are your thoughts? What did you hear last before your phone started tripping out or your internet?
You were in the middle. You just were in the middle of saying something, and then it was just like that was it. And I'm like, okay, what happened? So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Okay, well, do you think that? Okay, the question was, do you think that women are lying to men because they want to reach that ultimate goal of marriage, or do you think they're lying for something else? Is it because they've lost that connection with who they are, spiritually, or what have you? Why do you think these women are reaching that point?
Yeah, I think it's a lot. They've lost their connection. I know. I think that they lie to, like a lot of women do, lie to men. Say, they give the impression that this is how they are. This positive woman type of thing, and I do it all. But they let that. I think that the misinterpretation of independent woman is it goes to their head. So they don't allow the man to be the man of the household or whatever. And things start changing and shifting in the relationship. It's not what it used to be, So you have this woman who now becomes overly dominant. And the man is looking like, wait a second, that's not what I signed up for, and this is not how he was before in the beginning. So I think that it can play both ways, yeah.
Nah, right now I'm sitting here listening. I'm being schooled. There's times when I'm talking out the side of my neck and I'm teaching people, but right now I'm being schooled, and this is the reason why. I have 3 women. Right. You guys, we have 3 women on the phone right now who are all married, who all have children, and congratulations, Gigi, for getting another one through high school, and Jade as well for getting y'all both got some beautiful families. I just want to say that. And Dee,
sure do.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Dee too. They're my nephews. They're my nephews that Dee got.
You call me Dee? I'm about to tell you.
Dee.
But right now,
I'm getting ready to say this on air. And I have not really admitted this for a while because it's been hard for me. But my oldest son, is getting ready to be a father. So, yeah. I'm like,
well, congratulations.
Yeah. It took a while for me to swallow it. It really did. I'm not going to lie. So that's another woman. We hold on to our children for dear life. You know what I'm saying? And and don't let them just go out and be a man and do what they got to do. And that's another thing we need to stop doing. I realize that, and I'm proud of him. He's married. He's 22, and he's trying to do it right. And I'm like, at the same time, what the heck is going on? It's just like a blink of an eye, and it's going out, So I see people like Diyah and even my girlfriend whose kids are a lot younger than yours, Diyah, and I'm like, damn. Like I just blinked. What happened? So I miss it. I miss those moments when I see y'all posting stuff. I'm like, dang, that used to be me. So it's hard because you kind of put that chip on your shoulder and walk around because you're like nobody is good enough, and nobody is good enough for your child or whatever, or and you try to find the good in them, or you see how you would take care of your household or whatever, and you see how she's doing it. It's like it's not happening. It's not like it.
You are such a Hispanic mother. You know that, right? You are such a Hispanic mother. Yes, you are. You guys need to watch Que Pasa USA. Que Pasa
USA.
USA.
Maybe on a Hispanic mother thing.
I think it's more than that.
That's gone out the window. I think that's what it is that, people are, you feeding, your choice of feeding the family is ordering out all the time. Like, not every other week or once a week. Like, I like Fridays and enjoying Fridays and saying, y'all want to pick something, what y'all want to order? Everything else I'll go ahead and I'll cook and I'll do. But when you're feeding somebody with fast food all the time, every day, nonstop, y'all hanging out at the fast food joints or whatever, it's like, where's the nutrition at? Where's back in the day where, and then you try to question, how were you raised? Is your mother being your mother teaching you, or is she just being your friend? Like, what is it, and what do we need to do, and what do we need to stop doing to kind of change? And can we change it? Because it's just spiraling so out of control. It's like, can it even be changed now? Because it's just so much,
Wow. I'm sitting here listening to you, too, and it's a trip because from a single woman's perspective, we're concerned about what's going on with the future. And then you, from another perspective, married, mother, grandchild on the way. And it's like you're still seeing the same thing, but from a different aspect. It's like, what are these young girls learning, or what are they, and you don't want to step too far into place because you don't want to be this girl's mother. She's grown. She should already know this stuff. And I get the same desperation that you're saying, but on a different level. And right now, this is deep to me because I never would have thought of it or seen it from the eyes of a mother of a son. So, I mean, I wouldn't know what to say. Maybe somebody else could help you with how to handle it.
I'm bursting right here.
Right, and this is a circle. This is what I like. You got a fire, you got an earth sign, and you got two. Is it y'all are water, right, or air? I can't remember. But anyway, y'all got the circle right here.
Water.
Yeah, y'all are water. Yeah, y'all are water. But anyway, go ahead, Gigi. How did you handle it?
I want to say this. You got to remember that they're teenagers, and like you said, once a week they got that fast food. It was the best food ever. They're young. They're in their 20s. So they're doing the same stuff that we did when we got our money and we were in our 20s. They doing that fast food right now. It's quick on the money. But don't stop telling them. But, don't overtell them. But keep it in their ear. You know what I'm saying? You still need to eat healthy. You need to do that. But they're going to do that because that's what we did, too. We did the same exact things. You can never forget when you're raising a child how you handle things as a child. If you do that, then you'll be preaching and they'll be ignoring you, just like we did as kids, because it's like, you don't understand. I understand being 20 and buying McDonald's like for a whole week with my paycheck because I could. You know what I mean? Right. So it's just that, and they're at that age, and they're going to grow past it, especially when the baby comes and she knows that she's got to keep up her diet and she's going to have to keep him up, and the money's going to be a little less and they have to budget. So it's just all a process, so don't even focus on it.
So then even with because there's and I could tell from Jade, she's a nurturer and she wants to help and she wants to guide, plus she got that Latino side in her, we, baby, I already know. You want to be like, girl, well, you need to get in the kitchen and I already know what to say.
Yeah.
Right. Or even hurry up, sneak and tell your son, man, I got some greens and stuff in the kitchen, and you can come on over to the house. You gotta put something in. No, right. It's just the idea of some things is still premature, and you can tell. And I understand what you mean, Gigi, but look back at my relationship. I've been with my husband for now 19 years. And I'm like, yeah, we ordered out when we were young, but I also was in the kitchen cooking. I remember that. So I'm like, when are you going to make the plates? Like, when you going to, So there's just certain things that I watch and I monitor, and I hope that they grow into it in a positive way. But it's some things that you look at or you see, or I look at how her mother is different to how I was. But it also how you're raised. So it goes back to what Gigi said. things are it's passed down from generation to generation. So it's like maybe mom wasn't. She was just being a good friend to her instead of being a mother. Because my mother had me in the kitchen teaching me, so I knew how to do my household because I watched her. So there's just certain things when it comes to ladies and what we do today and what I see different today than what it was back in the day. And I think that's what's hard sometimes when a lot of females say, I'm having an issue finding a man or doing this or doing that, and it's like, okay, well, what are you doing? You know, are you trying to ease up to somebody else's man, or what is the case? What happens? Because when you talk about your topic, another thing that I notice that women do is instead of being that good, close friend and really being there and being that support when you just need someone to lean on and vent or say something, man, my man is just giving me a rough time. Today is not a good day. He's pissing me off. It's one of them days. It could be something so minute and minor, and her resolution to the problem is, girl, leave his ass. I would leave him.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes. It's like, you know, what is it that what is the problem? If I say, you know, I always like to use this as an example because it's so funny, but it's true. You know, you may say, man, he just pissed me off because he just put the toilet paper on the roll backwards. I mean, it's just crazy. It's pissed me off. But I'll leave his ass. I would leave him. What? You know, it's just something small. And that's the resolution to her problem. Is it because you're mad? Is it because you know you don't have a man right now at this time? Is it that you want my man? Like, what is it? Because that's not how I'm going to come to you. But then again, this is how these sisters call themselves friends. I'm your friend. I'm looking out for you. You don't need to be with them. If a girl is trying to do good in her career move or something, or career path, and she wants to decide to be a book writer or be something that's going to pay her money by herself. She wants to be self-employed or whatever the case may be. Girl, you know you need a 9-to-5 job. Let's be real. Collect that paycheck. You got bills to pay. Hell with all that. That comes down the road. So it's just I monitor and watch how some girlfriends communicate with their friends and say, I am her friend. I'm her girlfriend. I'm cool with her. I'm giving her the real deal. No. That's not the real deal. That's your real deal. Why aren't you asking her questions? What is it that you want in life? What is it, you know, if that's your avenue, let me give you resolutions to, let's see what you should do. Like, should you do this? Should you do that? Let me give you some of my opinions, but let me give you the options instead of, I would do this. And then your girl sitting back in the cut thinking, yeah, maybe girlfriend right. Maybe I need to leave him. Maybe I don't need to do this job that I want to do. And
she giving you experimental advice. And on top of that, and most of the time it's experimental advice. It's not even stuff that when she was in a relationship she did.
So, it's not the encouragement. It's just so much different when we talk about what sisters are doing today, you know.
I think we're going back into the question we had in the group before where it was me and Shani tried to build a dialogue in Gigi's group, Sex Was Make It Better, between married women and single women. It seemed to be a great divide between us, even though our problems were basically the same. Still have problems with our men. We still have problems in our day-to-day, whether it be chores or working or whatever. Still have problems with our children, but yet it seemed to be a great divide when it comes to giving advice. And one of the main things is because when a married person talks to, and I'm not going to say Shani because Shani has not done this to me. The one time I did, I just couldn't take it no more. I needed to talk to somebody, and I said something to Shani. Shani said, the hell if I know, why are you talking to me? That's
I know, right?
The hell if I know. But, you know what? I mean, but she was real with it. You know what I'm saying? Some people aren't.
She was, and to me, that brought me and Shani closer because most of the time when a married woman talks to a single woman, like you said, Jay, they get to, I wouldn't take that. I will leave him. But then when they get with a man, not even married to him, they take a whole bunch of crap off of him. They're not even married to him. Only been with him for 2 weeks. And they dealing with a whole bunch of crap that you ain't even got to deal with, and then they're telling you to leave them over toilet paper. What type of shit is that?
And you're doing better and acting better. Your relationship is really cool. It's just you got little stuff here and there that needs cleaning up that y'all need to fix. But her situation is a lot worse. This man is cheating on her, running around. It could be a lot of shit that's going on, and it's like your resolution to my small problem is I need to leave him. No, you need to leave his ass.
But you walk around the black eye like a baby. You walk around the black eye like a chick for baby boy.
Exactly, and you know what's funny? But there's also that married woman whose marriage is completely in disarray, and she lives vicariously through you. So then she puts in the single chick. Oh yeah, you need to leave him. But girl, he ain't nothing. Oh yes, there is still the married, unhappy chick that do the same exact.
Who are you telling, girl? I've had them. The one your husband is stupid. I don't know how you deal with that. And I'm like, really? Your husband's sticking his dick and everything else, but you worry about your husband to answer the question the way you wanted him to answer the question? What the hell is that? Like me, I'm rude, so I say it up front. But you know, there's some women you can wear a punch in the face, and it makes us honestly as married women where we should be coming together and working it out and showing the single woman what to look forward to in a marriage, realistically look forward to in a marriage. What is acceptable, what is not acceptable. What is stuff that every married woman deals with it, like the toilet paper, the toothpaste, the drawers on the floor, deal with it, boo. That's just come with dealing with a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not even... Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and you got used to his bad habits. So why start all over again with somebody else that they have worse bad habits? Your shit is bad. So
here's my thing. Why is drawers on the floor and the cap off the toothpaste a bad habit? That's not a bad habit. It's just a habit. A bad habit is not. No, but I'm saying but the people who are married is unhappy, and those who are single who think they know every damn thing. Again, I'm not talking about Shani, but those who are single they know every damn thing. They'll tell you that's a bad habit. It's just a fucking habit that can be changed. And honestly, it's ain't a bad.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm going to tell y'all this, and I'm not married. I'm not dating anyone or anything like that, but I have an uncle. He's like, how old is he? He's like 8 years older than me or 4 years, whatever. I can't count. But, and I could just see how he would be in a relationship. He's the guy that will leave the cabinet doors open. He's also the one that after he shaves leaves some hair in the sink. He's also the one
that drives me crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that, and I look at other women who are either dating someone or who are married, and they're like complaining that, oh my God, I can't believe he did this and he left the toilet seat up. Well, baby boo, just put the toilet seat down. Okay, you walked into the cabinet, you already know he's going to leave the cabinet door open. You already know he's going to put condiments on everything that you cooked, and you really thought you were Paula Deen or somebody else in the kitchen, and he's going to put some ranch dressing on top of it or some ketchup or mustard, and you already know this. So why is that going to be an issue for you? Just put the mustard on the table and the ketchup on the table and say, here you go, boo.
Exactly. I'm weird. I'll put notes on.
I got on my husband one day because I was like, y'all, you know, there's a bunch of men in the house. I'm the only female, so that irritates me enough as is. I'm like, who the hell left the toilet seat up? You know, y'all supposed to put the toilet seat down, have courtesy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm fussing. So my husband said, okay. So when we put the toilet seat down and you go take a pee, do what you got to do, why don't you put the toilet seat up, be courteous, so I can put the toilet seat back up? Did you just say that to me? So, in other words, he said, okay, so the feeling is mutual, okay? So you want us to do you a favor, you can do us a favor, too.
Hey, that's why you get one of those automated ones where, you know, after you leave the toilet, it goes right back down.
Right, there you go. There you go.
Hey, but I'm not going to lie, though. It's horrible. It's horrible, though. I'm not going to lie. When you walk into the bathroom and you're halfway asleep, actually you're completely asleep, and the next thing you know, your booty is wet. That pisses me off. But yet still, I already know My uncle was in the bathroom. I can't complain. I saw him or I heard him walk into the room. We already know there's a dude in the house. To make sure you check the toilet seat before you walk in. That's all.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be totally honest. I learned the hard way. That was my husband, but with previous guys before. You know, you ask him to put the toilet seat down, Just like when you wake in the middle of the night and you go to the toilet and you butt into being wet, when he wakes up in the middle of the night and the toilet seat's down, he will sprinkle the whole home like it was a thunderstorm.
Yes. Yeah.
So I learned the hard way. Yes, you got pee on your booty, and then you got to wake the hell up and take a shower. You know what I mean?
You up now, but then
you up now.
To wake everybody up. I'm waking everybody up because right now I'm pissed off. Y'all don't know.
I got toilet water in my vagina. Everybody waking the hell up.
I feel you, dear. That's exactly how I feel. Y'all all waking. Why I'm sorry, fussing? Because goddamn, somebody done did it. So everybody doing something.
But at the same time, you know, when you do something, you know, when you go to when you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you just, even though you just tilt your head up and make your eyes roll down, you'll still see it and go, oh, the toilet seat's not down. Let's flip it down. And if the toilet seat is down, get some toilet paper and please wipe it off. Because you don't know what you might find, and especially when you live with a house full of men. Or because in my case, I have one man and 3 boys. The oldest is 7 of the boys. So with the toilet seat down, you never know what the hell you might find on that toilet seat.
And you might find the toilet is not flushed sometimes too, or you might find the toilet is plugged. So you
I have
just
found the toilet not flushed. I found Legos on the toilet. I found cards on the toilet. I found keychains on the toilet. What the hell? Why is there a Lego sitting on the toilet?
If you're not prepared for that, then why even worry about being married? If those little things bother you, then you better rethink the idea of marriage, because those are the little things that are going to happen.
I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, you need that.
That's the thing. And just being that female that understands things shit's gonna happen. Have a better solution for your girlfriend than girl, leave his ass. You know.
Yes.
I had a girlfriend whose husband cheated and ended up, she found out, but she didn't find out from him or the girl or whatever. She found out by police coming to her house. We got a summons for him to come to court to do a DNA test. Wait a second. And her father-in-law's name was the same name as her husband, so she said it better be my father-in-law, because if it's him, y'all gonna need not just y'all, but y'all gonna need somebody for a divorce, because it's gonna happen. So my solution to her when she's calling me is that, can you deal with it? Can you handle it? That's what you need to know. If you really can handle this extra, this kid, this baggage that he brought in from the extramarital affair, then you need to try to fix it. And if he's willing to fix it, you need to fix it. But if not, then you need to, whatever you can do. And so here is my response to her. You want me to tell you what to do. You know, you need to figure it out. But whatever you do, I'm here for you, girl. I got you. I support whatever decision you make. It's going to be hard. Whatever decision you make, it's going to be a rough road. And so that was my solution. Now, girl, leave his ass. Leave it. He did that.
Exactly.
That's a tough and sticky situation. And not only that, that's a long-ass amount of years that you had. Y'all got 3 kids together. Right. So are you really ready to leave that shit? You know what I'm saying?
I am glad you brought that up. I'm so rich, because the one thing women don't tell, whether married or single, to the other woman in the relationship, whether they're married or single, when they've been with the man for a long time, the one thing they have a hard time telling is, or the hard time asking is, why did he cheat? Well, he cheated just because all men cheat. No. Most men cheat, one, because they're not getting, their wife sees them as a lower than dirt, while the other one sees them as a god. The other thing that men cheat because they can't talk to their wife. Like they talk
communication, as Gigi says, communication.
Exactly, communication. And most women,
it's a momentarily thing. It might not be a permanent thing, because some people think once a cheat, always a cheat. It may have been something at that moment, and he's like, you know what, I fucked up, but I need to fix this, and I'm ready to do that, and I need to do that. So that's another thing. We need to stop focusing on, well, if he cheated, he will always cheat on you, girl. You need to leave his ass. That's just the bulk of my story is that is always a solution. When you ask me about that, Shawnee, that's the problem I had. That's the issue that I had.
Yes,
Are you really my friend? Or you going to tell me if I say he sneezed the wrong way and he farted in bed, pissed me off, and I got up, I had to tell girl.
I know, right?
Yes. Well, Shani, the one thing, like me and Shani talk, she'll call me, she'll go, everything okay? And sometimes I'm like, no, me and her was arguing. She's like, you all right? Yeah, we're going to be all right. We'll be talking about how we go on lunch break. Ain't nothing to worry about. Like, it's just and knowing your man. But the one thing that gets so pissed off with other women is that why don't you tell the other one the truth? Even though he was wrong for cheating, yes, I'll give you that. Why did he cheat? Can he talk to you?
Yes.
When he comes home, do you think he like he is less than the boss he works for? Or do you make him feel like that? You don't have to make him feel like a guy, but do you make him feel like he's worthy? He's worth it. He's coming home to something that he's built. He's happy. He's at peace. Or as soon as he comes home, do you talk about, oh, this bill ain't been paid, this bill ain't been paid, this child did this, this child did that, what you going to do about it? I can't stand your ass, I need to break this man. What do you do when he walks through the door?
Or, and then not only that, what have you changed in yourself? Because a lot of times we don't, like you say. There's something that we have done that could have caused that reflection. Yeah. You know, so is it something that you used to do that now you no longer do because you think I ain't got time because I got the kids, or I ain't got time because of this, or he needs to get over it, or whatever the case may be. Then at that moment he needed some kind of attention that you're not giving him. We need to admit our fault, and that's the thing that women don't look at. It's always, man, it's his ass, it's his fault. You know, he wrong.
And that's especially when you have children, especially that first baby, and especially when you have that first baby, and you just whether you stay at home or working mom, and in the middle of the night that child is crying and your man wants you. The first week. I'll give you the second week. By the third week, you should know that baby's pattern, so you should know when to get up and feed that baby so the baby don't even cry. You got it, so you get back and get back to satisfying your man.
I would say, don't.
Mother.
Ooh.
Stop being, because I've seen women do this. Stop being a lazy mother and letting that baby sleep all damn day. So you can relax and chill and do whatever you want. You can't sit up there and do nothing for your man because you're like, I'm tired and this baby cranky and you need to get up and you need to take care of it. Girl, sit your ass down somewhere. You need to get that baby up and
all day.
Y'all see this is how our inboxes be going. So y'all are getting a taste of what we talk about. I mean, seriously, the majority of the time they don't hear me doing a lot of talking. That's because I'm observing, because they are actually my mentors. You guys want to know why I don't talk that much in the inboxes and I might be like I'm standoffish. Really, it's because I'm paying attention to your patterns as married women, and I'm paying attention to your patterns as women and the things and cues that I need to do for myself. So it's not that I'm being an ass or I think that I'm cocky or anything like that. It's just I really am observant, and I commend all of you guys for the way that you handle your relationships. And the cat just jumped on the hood of the car. He's looking in the car. But but the other topic that you guys were talking about is, don't say it's the man's fault and he's just always that way. Don't blame that other woman either. You know, it's not that other woman's fault. It's your fault and the things or the lack of the things that you're doing. If you used to, go down on your dude and suck on him a little bit, hey, do it again. Put some ice cubes in your mouth. Like the grapefruit lady, put the grapefruit around it. You know what I'm saying? Bring some spice into your relationship. I learned that kind of stuff from DG. Yeah.
If our man is and she knows the other woman, a true woman will not go to the other woman saying, oh, you this and that, my man don't want you, but true woman will knock the door and go, my man, this is my man, he sleep with you, what are you doing that I'm not? What are you providing for him he can't get it home so I can work on my marriage?
And don't try to wait.
Being Mary Jane, have y'all?
Yes. Yes.
The episode where she says where Mary Jane says to the wife, if you kneel down on the floor to give him oral pleasure instead of laying down on the pillow, and so use the pillow, and she's like, get out of my house. I'm sitting up there like, I need to take notes and hear this shit. So I do want to go to this ass right now. But
and then wait, but then no more.
First of all, I'm about to say, who the hell gets fed while laying on a pillow?
On a pillow.
First of all, I don't want cum. As a married woman, I don't want cum anywhere near my damn pillow where I lay my face. I've been married for a long time.
That pissed me off. That was some lady head. I'm sorry. That was some lady head. I was like, what are you? I'm trying to say.
It's a lady head. A pillow.
Yeah,
a pillow.
And she was laying on the pillow. And I mean, it's okay. For those that really do give head, and I mean, I don't mean to be on your show. I'm sorry.
Nah, you're all right.
But those that do it, that really know and to do it, that shit is going to hit your jaw. The tip of his head is going to hit your jaw. It's going to be
your tonsil.
It's going to hit your teeth. No, I'm saying laying on a pillow. It's going to be hitting the side of your teeth. You're going to be scraping him. It's going to be very discomforting to him. And even on the show, he says that. And I'm like, imagining that's going to be hitting my side jaw if I'm laying on my pillow trying to give. No.
And then, too, but see, CJ, let's just go here real quick, because if your head is on the pillow, think about how high a pillow is. You're only going to be at the tip of his penis.
Exactly.
So you're not going to get all of it in your mouth.
You just want to
wait.
And just lick.
Yeah. Let's be totally honest. Most guys, when you're giving head, they like their penis to be on a downward angle. If you're on a pillow, you're at least neutral or up high. You're not on a downward angle. They like the way to look down, and they like the penis on a downward angle where you're pulling. Secondly, if that's not a ponytail, boo, you ain't truly trying to give head. Because when you're truly trying to give head, you put that hair in a ponytail, and it's serious. You go to work. That's all I got to say. That's why most hoes got short. That's why most hoes got short haircuts. Man, don't understand that.
Exactly.
But most hoes got short haircuts for a reason.
There you go. Wrap your
hair
up.
Visual
If you got hair like mine, you ain't trying to get nothing in your hair and all that other shit anyway. So wrap it up, do what you got to do. She ain't lying.
Okay, I'll be totally honest. When you give a head, that head is going back and forth. It's slowly, it's all cute and seductive. But when it gets serious, that head goes faster. You ain't trying to have your hair smack in your face, get inside your mouth, and be messing with the daggone rhythm.
Get in your mouth.
Smacking him. If you got real long thick hair, it be smacking them in the balls. You're not trying to do all that. So you just pull your hair back up until you go to work.
Wait, that's why he pulls it to the side, because it's getting in his way too, and he want to see it all. And
exactly.
Or depending how you are, though, depending on how the position you are, because if you're facing away from him, where your backside is to him.
Oh well, yeah,
there's something between his balls and his legs. So let's be real.
And you sitting there every few minutes. Now, just because I ain't married don't mean I'm a virgin. But you sitting there every few minutes. You stopping while it's getting good to him, and you putting your face, your hair out of your face and out of your mouth, because it done got in between the two. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you put your hair up in a ponytail like Diyah was saying, and I don't know how the hell we got. I do know how. You got erotic talk radio on the Gumbo Cafe, and you got sex that make it better on the. I mean, y'all just double teamed us tonight and made us go to oral. Y'all ain't right.
Sorry. Men are visual. And you know what, too? A lot of these ladies, they stop caring about how they look. And I know we do get a little comfortable.
Oh, yes.
But, girl, when you have that bonnet on from the time you get home. That is not cute. The sweatpants. I know we get comfortable sometimes.
You still got that on. You still
exactly.
With the pink rose with the flowers. The pink rose with the yellow flowers in that bonnet on.
and they will leave the house with that on. That is so not cute. Take the bonnet off. That
the silk bonnet, and the hair is wrapped, and they got the net on top of the wrap, and they got the sweatpants, and they got the, you have to do some work. I did learn that also from my cousin. You know, she's in her 60s, and she said the way you get the man is the same way you keep him.
Well, you want to keep him.
I learned that, and I learned that from, it's funny you said that because I learned that from my mother, because my mother used to have my father so on his toes that he would come home because she worked from home. So she would dress up and start putting her makeup on close to the time that he was coming home. And then he come home, he's like, wait a second, she had the dress on and heels. Well, we going somewhere? No. And she start cooking in the kitchen. That's what she dressed up. And I'm watching, I'm like, you put all that makeup on, did your hair, and got a dress on to go in the kitchen to cook for Daddy.
Yes.
Then I started to learn and understand it. Now, I don't do good with dresses. I got to admit that.
I don't do all that shit.
Stuff and try to, like, I got to, sweating and stuff. No, I don't do. But I'll make my face on and everything, and you know what I'm saying? So, and
I don't really
out that damn rap, you know.
What I will do is I'll take my hair out that ponytail and I'll put on a little bit of lip gloss just so my lips are not chapped. It doesn't have to be a color, and I'll put on the booty shorts because my man likes booty shorts. So I will put on booty shorts so when he gets home, I have one that tank top, no bra, booty shorts, and a little bit of lip gloss. The house.
I'm ready.
Yes, and the place is already smelling like food. Because, you know, my place is already smelling like food. The kids well, of course, because of the hours my man's work. The kids are already sleeping. I try my best to have them sleep in their own bed. Or when he gets home, by the time he gets out the shower, they're in their own bed. And then it's me and him time, period. That's it. There's nothing.
Look, let me just say this, too. Let me just say this, too, for the single women. I'm just saying for the single women. No, because I also have an older friend who does the same. She makes the bath water for her husband. But this is the thing that got me. She said, I already know how to change my tires. I already know how to wash my car. I already know all of these things. But there's a certain way that I approach it. Say, oh, honey, can you do this for me? Because I just really, and he will do it. Her husband will do it. Because he feels validated and he feels appreciated because he has a place to fit within the home. It's not like she's griping at him when he walks in the door. He's being the man of the home, and she's saying, "This is here, honey. Can you do this?" I already know how to do it. She says, "I know how to put the pipes in the I know all of that. I could change the shower head, but I want him to be a part of me. So it's okay to be submissive." That's what she said, really, is I was being submissive in order for him to be in control.
That's true. My husband's mechanic. Before I met him, I knew how to change brakes. I knew how to change. I knew how to change brakes. I knew how to change the oil.
Too, so that's
okay. But before I met him, I knew how to change the oil. You know, because because it was me, my mom, and my younger brother. I was the handyman work around the house that we lived in. But when we met him, it was like, oh, babe, can you take out the trash? Oh, babe, can you change this?
Yes.
Oh, I stopped the car. It's squeaking when I stop. Can you do this? You know what I mean? Like, so you just have to do it. After a while, I was lying and but still, it's still in there. But still, it's still in there.
And mine would squeak, but mine wouldn't squeak when he. All of a sudden, you get in the car and the shit don't squeak. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was squeaking when I was driving.
What is that? Is that a mechanic thing? I think they got something going on there.
It is. It is. That's the mechanic thing. But with my even though he knows the truth now.
He said that for a second because I'm like, that's exactly how I learned this. And he'll come home, and when he tells his stories, obviously they're like, oh, that's another thing. Women don't just get excited. It's like, I'm not interested in what you do, what you hit.
Exactly. We don't give a shit.
Because I don't know shit that he can talk about sometimes. But, man, I was turning these wrenches. I did this, that, and that. But for real, damn, that's all right, babe. That's my stuff, though. And in my mind, I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you just said, but okay.
I'll be totally honest. My man come home talk about his day because, like I said, I know brakes, I know tires, I know oils. When he comes talk about transmissions and engines, I start rubbing his leg and go, yo, you had a hard day, baby? And then it goes to other stuff because I really don't want to hear what the fuck he got to say. I don't understand that shit. But he don't know. He don't know.
But look though, she and I will be on the phone. She and I will be on the phone. But see, this is what I appreciate about her. She and I will be on the phone, and then as soon as he walks through the door, she done forgot about me. Like, Shawnee, who the hell is Shawnee? And she's just talking to him in the background, listening to his story. She said, oh, no, girl, we can talk. But she done forgot all about me. Her focus is on her man. He done came home. She loves him. And I'm just sitting there texting her and inboxing her and on the phone with her, too. Girl, you don't, just get off the phone. You piss me off.
Exactly.
But, you know, but the thing is, I get why she does it, because her focus is her husband first. And you know, we can't be jealous for the single women. We can't be jealous because she got a man. You know, I appreciate that she do that. Sometimes she get on my nerves, but I still appreciate. Girl, you are not listening to me.
Okay, wait.
Shawty, what you say?
Wait, I'm gonna be totally honest. The reason why I do that is because when I first asked Shani why she wanted a husband, her first answer, this was years ago. It's not her answer, this was years ago.
No, it's
because
not my answer
he would
today.
be there for me. Yeah, he would be there for me. This is what he would do for me. And I was like, as a wife, what makes you think, what are you going to do for yourself when he's not able to be there?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for yourself when y'all both are going through it, and someone needs to break down and say, you know what, I'm going to put my issue on the back burner so you can do what you need to do.
Dang.
These are
you only got 51 minutes, too.
Yeah, these are questions.
Not only that, but let me just say this real quick. Let me piggyback off that real quick. Sometimes, and not saying you, Shawnee, but just women in general who may be listening to this who is single. A lot of times you look at the glamour part of the relationship. That's true for worse shit, for poor. You're looking for the richer, you're looking for the better, but you're not looking for the worse. For the poor, you're not realizing that. What happens if something happens and that man becomes sickly? Are you ready to clean and wipe his ass and do some things, get down and dirty with it, and it really be, you know what I'm saying? Are you ready to financially be stable and be the breadwinner of the house and say, if I have to work 2 jobs and do whatever, because right now you down and out? I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, are you ready? Would you be willing to do that kind of shit? Because there's some girls, oh, no, he asked me to do this. He wanted me to clip his toenails? Oh, no. And I'll be sitting there like, for real? I'm serious. It'd be like small.
No, I'm serious, too.
And
I'm laughing now because I see my cousin. She used to be so headstrong, and I ain't got time for all that, but I see her now, and she be like, baby, let me do your pedicure for you. She's sitting there, you know what I'm saying? Got the little grating-looking thing and all of that. Yeah. But it has changed from that focus back then, and I appreciate that. That's why I say I appreciate you guys, and I pay attention to what you guys are saying and how you guys handle relationships.
I do want to say before we get cut off, the same question goes to the men, and I say this because when I got pregnant with our first child, I almost lost him, and for the first 2 weeks after I had our first child, my husband had to wipe my behind every single time. He also had to bathe me because I could not reach certain angles because of the staples in my stomach. And for the first week, I couldn't even bend to try to get to certain ankles because of the staples in my stomach because I was still sore from the emergency cesarean that I had to have. So the same thing goes both ways. It's not just, women put up with this and this, but it's also men. You need to think about when that woman has to go through stuff to have your child, or when she's going through her day-to-day and she's keeping it to herself just so you can get by, and she's holding it back until you have a good day where she can release. Understand that she's holding back so that you can do what you need to do. So you can still be the man of the house, and she's letting you feel like the man that society, not the man that you are, because the man you are is greater than what society says you need to be. Yeah. But because most people go by what society says, she's letting you, do what you need to do and rebuild so you can be the man that society says that you need to be. But also, at some point, it has to be reciprocated so she can be the woman. Because most women don't give a fuck about society, especially when it comes to kids. She's like, fuck it, I need to take care of my kids and my family. When it comes to that, it needs to be reciprocated.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I hate to cut y'all off.
That she's not Superwoman.
Right. And she's not Superwoman. And I was going to say, I hate to cut you guys off, but hopefully you guys, ladies, can come back. Just follow us on Facebook and Twitter. You could find out where you can meet Gigi and Jade. But there is a thing that I did want to play at the end of the show, and it was a piece by Maya Angelou. Love you two ladies. We will be supporting you constantly. I hope it'll play all the way to the end. But y'all have a good night. Have a blessed night. Have a wonderful night. And I love y'all. I really do. See y'all next week. We got to go out. Love you too. Y'all have a blessed
Dr. Maya Angelou, give us some love for me.
I wanted to talk to you and to my children about some of the criticisms. You know, I'm sorry to say, some black people laugh at the heroes and sheroes they have, and say that's an Uncle Tom, that's an Aunt Jemima. You don't stop to wonder how that black man's throat must have been closing on him each time he said, "Yes, sir, boss, I sure must be stupid," so he could go home and feed somebody. Or that black woman who said, "No, ma'am, Miss Ann, you didn't hurt my feelings because I ain't tender-hearted just because you slapped me. No, ma'am." So she could go home and send somebody to Fisk. Yeah. Or Howard, or Tuscaloosa. So I wrote a poem for a woman who got on the bus in New York City, and she used to just laugh. If the bus stopped, she'd laugh. If it picked up somebody, she'd laugh. If it missed them, I looked at her and I thought, that woman is not laughing. She's simply extending her lips and making a sound. That's that survival apparatus. Laugh when you aren't tickled and scratch when you don't itch. So she could keep my people alive. So I wrote a poem for her. I used it with Paul Laurence Dunbar's poem Mask and my own poem for old black men. This is it. When I think about myself, I almost laugh myself to death. My life has been one great big joke, a dance that's walked, a song that spoke. I laugh so hard, I nearly choke when I think about myself. See, 70 years in these folks' world, the child I works for calls me girl. And I say, yes, ma'am, for working sake. I'm too proud to bend, too poor to break. I laugh so hard, my stomach ache when I think about myself. My folks can make me split my side. I laugh so hard I nearly died. The tales they tell sound just like lying. They grow the fruit, but eat the rind. I laugh so hard, I start to crying when I think about myself and the little children. But then we wear the mask. They grins and lies. It shades our cheeks and hides our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts, we smile and mouth myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but oh my God, our tears to thee from tortured souls arise. And we sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile